Can't drink. Braves Country. I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show Braves Country Today just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
You're in Braves country.
Good afternoon, Braves country. Are you ready for Mad Max versus Paul Skeens? I know I am. Got a little time to do this and not much wiggle room. So let's go ahead and get into the Charlie Morton interview. We might have to cut it short, but I did want y'all to hear some of it. It's a long interview, and they did a horrible job on the audio. We chopped it up to the best of our ability. Here we go.
Today, and you're saying, kind of sounded like you're saying you're looking for, hey, why am I still doing this? But does a start like this remind you why you're still here pitching?
I don't know. I don't think I don't know. I've had enough good ones and bad ones. It's like, I don't know. I think honestly, it's that feeling of, it's like that sickening feeling when you fail, and it reminds you of like what it's like to feel that, because that's a very familiar feeling. That's a feeling that from a really young age, and then when there's something on the line, and then I don't know. It's like for me, it's like the feeling of letting people down. And I think that you can where almost too much. It's like, do you want to keep feeling that feeling where it's like you let people down, you let your teammates down, you let the organization down, you let the fans down, you let yourself down, and then it gives you an opportunity to overcome that feeling and to better yourself. So I think that's why, and because the group in there is just phenomenal. And so and I'm not saying there's not good clubhouses, aren't good clubhouses. I'm just saying it's gotten really hard to think of going somewhere else, and just starting that process all over again with new people, and hoping that you find something that resembles that to some degree. So it's like when Alex called, he shoot the first year at the end of 21, and he was like, let's talk about an extension. It's like, because I'd been thinking about it the end before that, but it's like, man, how many chances do you get to experience a group like this? And still relatively healthy. So I don't know, but there's definitely been that struggle to find a balance between my family and baseball, trying to do right by my family and trying to do right by my teammates, because Snit's been great he'll let me go home every now and then, or like let me go to catch a flight to go home, or maybe fly with my family if my family's going on the road. I mean, the Braves have been really gracious with how they've handled the situation.
Conscious of this start of the season with that really good start. You haven't had back-to-back great ones either.
Yeah, I mean that's something that I've done a lot in my career. It's like, what do let me look at a game like tonight. The play that O made up the middle, getting that force. I mean, we're inches away right there from the, two runners on. Who knows? The foul ball hit down the right field line. I tried to beat him with the heater in, and it's like, who knows? I mean, I don't. The last ball put in play, we're feet there from that being a double and a runner scoring, and it's like there's like Chris and I were talking about that the other day. How a lot of outings they're decided by like 3 or 4 pitches. It's like you look at that New York outing. It's like I'm 3 or 4 pitches away from getting through that and feeling like the Nationals start, that one was like, I don't know how many hits they gave up, 15 hits. That we're not 1 pitch away from anything. We're not, that was just disaster. But it's like, it's true. You get few opportunities, a few plays, every now and then go your way instead of the line drive hitting anybody. And that's kind of how most games go, and then and I'm not saying it's like that's why I pitch bad, but I think every now and then you kind of take a step back and you can realize how close you are from actually getting through some outings and feeling like you still have a smidgen of respect for yourself, and how you did. And so I don't know. I mean, I can objectively say there's been some bad outings where I threw the ball poorly, like really poorly. I didn't execute. My stuff was bad. I got hit around.
12 out of 15 starts. I mean, if you're eating innings, you're helping your team that day and maybe the rest of the week. How satisfying is that?
Like, it's like, how many times have I thrown 25 to 30 plus pitches? And like, I'm like a reverse split guy right now. It's bizarre to be older, right? I should be like, my tank should be empty by about the 3rd or 4th inning, the order, knock on wood. And it's like, dude, you can still get people out. Probably part of the silver lining too is when I'm looking at it, like maybe it's not that I'm, dusty. It's like, just get going, man. Like get some people out in the first couple innings and this might turn out okay.
You gave the ball to a 40-year-old reliever, 40-year-old, that didn't happen a lot.
Yeah, he threw the heck out of the ball tonight. He was like, yeah, I mean, it's just a pro's pro. I'm wearing his shirt. Yeah, so like it's been a special place for me with, in Pittsburgh, for Pittsburgh. I mean, I spent 7 seasons there. I experienced a lot of lows and highs, and they gave me a ton of opportunities. Staff, Ray Searage, Yuki up there, the Herbie and all the guys that I played, Clint, I played for Clint for quite, so it's like, Chuck was born up there, our first kid, he was born up there. So I don't know, man. Like, I just remember the last time I pitched for the Pirates. It was a late September game. We were like trailing St. Louis, like 5 or 6 runs in the first couple innings. I got booed off the field. I let everybody down, and I just remember walking off that field. And realistically, I probably never pitch on that mound ever again. There's a really, really good chance. So like, maybe that's just how it was supposed to be. I don't know, but I think so. Like, because someone said that to me last year. Like, you only pitched against the Pirates one time. Might not mention it, put it that way. It's special.
Massive ovation for you after you got off the field today. How's it feel to get shown that much love by the Braves fan base?
Yeah, the fans here have been great. They've been and fair, and I think I think a lot of people, like I signed my first, like when I signed as a 37, to think that at 37 years old, they gave me a shot, the fans, early, and the organization supported me right away, and to come back and try to finish my career.
Okay, got to cut it off there because we got to get the lineups. Pick to click today. I'm going with Kid Kelnick, and I think it's going to be a nail biter. Give me the Braves winning 3-1. 3-1. I'll put that in the chat in case anybody missed it. Let's go ahead and get to pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Oh, baby. Skeens versus Mad Max. Let's get it.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
World Championship. Can you?
Atlanta ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. A banger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary, and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season, and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have, and the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Green. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we won.
Down a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off, the designated hitter, Andrew McCutchen, 11 home runs, 24 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .238. Brian Reynolds, batting second, playing left. A .279 average, 13 home runs, 46 RBI, 5 stolen bases. Connor Joe, batting third, playing first. 7 home runs, 28 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .248. Olivares is in right field and batting cleanup with a .233 average, 5 home runs, 2 RBI, 1 stolen base. Nick Gonzalez is batting fifth and playing second. 5 homers, 27 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .282. Brian Hayes, batting sixth, playing third. 3 home runs, 19 RBI, 5 stolen bases, a .227 average. Triolo is at short with a .208 clip. He has 4 home runs, 4 stolen bases, 24 RBI. Yasmani Grandal, batting eighth and behind home plate. The hind catcher has 2 home runs, 15 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .176. And Michael Taylor is batting ninth and in center. 1 homer, 11 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .188. On the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates today, it's Paul Skeens. He is 4-0 with a shiny 2.14 ERA, a 0.99 whip, 46 1/3 innings, 61 strikeouts, 38 hits allowed, 8 walks, 5 home runs. He'll be going head-to-head with Mad Max. Max Fried, 7-3 with a 3.00 ERA, a 1.07 whip, 90 innings, 80 strikeouts, 69 hits allowed, and 27 walks, 6 home runs served. Backing up Mad Max in the bottom of the first inning, it's Jared Kelenic. Kid Kelenic will be patrolling center field and leading off with 8 home runs, 25 RBI, .278 average, 3 stolen bases. Batting second, playing second, Ozzie Albies. 6 home runs, 38 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .253. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 21 home runs, 67 RBI, a .304 average. Matt Olson is batting cleanup and playing first with 12 home runs, 41 RBI, a .244 average. Batting fifth, playing third, Austin Riley. 9 home runs, 31 RBI, a .252 average. Travis d'Arnaud is behind home plate and batting sixth with 7 home runs, 25 RBI, a .234 average. Batting seventh and playing left field, it's Forrest Wall.
Run, Forrest, run!
He has a .294 average, 1 RBI, 2 stolen bases. Batting eighth, playing right, Adam Duvall. Duvall has 6 home runs, a .165 average, 19 RBI. And batting ninth, at short, it's Orlando Arcia. He has 6 home runs, 22 RBI, batting .211. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate, David Arrieta. First base umpire, David Rackley. Second base will be manned by Chris Segal, and down the third base line, it's Larry Vanover. Atlanta Braves come in 10 games over 500, 12 over 500 at home at 25-13. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 3 under 500 at 39-42 and 20-22 on the road. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 150 on the money line. The over-under is 7.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Pirates Game 2 of a 3-game set. It's Paul Skeens versus Mac Freed, you're not going to get a better potential pitching showdown than that. Country Club members, we got the Mad Max kicking in the chat. Time to warm up those chop arms. In Braves country, get your game face on.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good afternoon, Braves country. I see the GOAT. Country Club member. I see. First of all, let me see the tomahawk chop. Where's that at? Come on, Jason. All right. I see the GOAT Country Club member. I see Mark Ricardo Country Club member. I see Edward Spry and Fox Molnar Country Club member. I see Nathaniel Brooks, Country Club member. AY Country Club member. Who else do we have here in the Country Club? I think I've got everybody. If I miss anybody, jump back in the chat. We also, in Braves Country, we see John, Caesar, not sure which one to pronounce. We see Bert. I'm assuming Charlie or Envy is in the Country Club, so I'm just is here. If not, she'll be here soon. I see Tony, Mr. Woodrow, Daniel, Bert. And I think we've got them all. There's a lot of flying in here at me, so I may have missed one or two. If I did, just jump back in the chat and let us roll. Atlanta Braves are going to be wearing their City Connects. So most of you Braves fans know what those look like, those on radio. But they are very kind of like, I always say that they're a mix between the 80s Braves home jerseys and the 70s Hank Aaron jerseys. They're white top to bottom with the blue sleeves and the A on the front. Mad Max appears to be just about set. The Pirates are wearing their road black tops and gray pants. Braves will have the blue ball cap with the white front and the blue and red A on the bill, the A on the bill. And the Pirates will have their black ball caps with the yellow P. And we're just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. And also going on right now, the Mets are playing. The Phillies are playing, so we'll keep you up to date on what's going there. But this is the event we've all been waiting for all week long. Mad Max versus Paul Skeens. It's time to get after it. A little bit of a delay. Some of the grounds crew coming off the field. I think they were taking care of something. I think someone thrown some the Cobb County Police were involved, so I'm not 100% sure what that was, but it looks like we are set. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way, 94 above the knees. Fastball right there for a strike for Mr. Max Fried. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Kicks and fires. Swung on, popped back foul. Now to play. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Lefty, righty, pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Got him with the hard cheese under the hands. One away. Right there in on his fist. Good pitch. I think we can actually switch the screen too while we do this. I'm going to do that real quick before we get going. Sometimes it comes up a little quicker than normal. That's the Paul Skeens effect, right? The first pitch on the way from Max Fried to Reynolds is a changeup that's banged foul below his hands. Down the third base side, it's 0-1. The 0-1, lefty-righty. Reynolds batting .279 on the year, 13 home runs, 46 ribbies, an .816 OPS. The pitch, swung on, chopped foul, just got over it, it's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. You Country Club members, remember we got all those special emojis, and we do have the Mad Max kicking today. I think we still have, Jason's the one that put it up today, but let me double check. I think we still have Forrest. Yeah, we still got the Forrest emoji. And we've got the Believe. And if Grant Holmes gets in, we got the Kenny Powers one. The 0-2 pitch from Fried, kicks and fires, swung on, chopper back towards the mound. Fried's going to have to hurry, fires it to first, jumps on it, got him! And it's a 1-3 putout, very athletic move by Fried. Not a lot of pitchers are going to get down there and make that look that easy. He was eastbound and down, baby. Speaking of Kenny Powers, he had a long way to go and a short time to get there. Hopped on it, turned around, and flipped it to first, 2 away. So 2 down. Good afternoon, Grandma King. Good to see you. Travis. See if we missed anybody else. The first pitch on the way is a bending curve, top of the zone to Connor Joe. It's 0-1. Good afternoon, Fox. Gary, the real McCoy. Anyone else in there? Mark, the 0-1 pitch. Down below the knees. 1-1. Braves nothing, Pirates nothing. The over-under on this game, by the way, was 7.5. It was 4.5, or actually 3.5 in the first 5. The 1-1 down below the knees. 2-1. The tops with really bad odds was 4.5. To give you an idea what that's like, typically 4.5 is the over-under. So it's a full run lower because of these two pitchers on the mound today. The 2-1 pitch for Max. Curveball or a slider make it. Just missed outside, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Mad Max, he will throw 7 different pitches nowadays. And they're fairly evenly split between the four seam, the curve, the sinker, and the change. The 3-1, swung on, popped up, foul, 95 up top, four-seamer, 3-2. He comes at those, the four-seamer, he throws the most at 33%. The curve right after that at 21%. But then, and your sinker and change are both at 16 and 14 respectively, and then there's a big drop-off as the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, that ball's laced into center field, down for a base hit, and Connor Joe is won with 1 on and 2 outs. After that, you'll get the slider, the cutter, and the sweeper. Those are all under 10%, 7, 5, and 4 respectively. I can second that goat, the Ricky Hill movie. That is very good movie. It's the one with Quaid in it. First pitch on the way from Mad Max is a slider. Hits the zone outside wide, but home plate umpire David Arrieta blew the call. It's 1-0. Olivares, the batter. He may not have gotten it because Travis was set up so far inside the 1-0. Swung on, popped up foul, back out of play, 1-1. Yeah, that's one of the best baseball movies I've seen in a long time. The Hill on Netflix. If you're looking for something to watch tonight, that's a really good one. We stumbled across it on accident maybe 3 or 4 months ago, me and my wife, and just watched it. We're like, wow. The 1-1 pitch. Four seam missed well inside, 2-1. So a 2-1 count that should be a 1-2 count. Runner at first, 2 outs. Really changes in it at bat. There is a threat of rain in the area, but it should be gone in the next hour. The 2-1. Got a call on the inside cut, 2-2, so that might have been a makeup call for the blown one on the outside. The 2-2. Max comes set, lets her rip. Slider down below the knees, ball 3. So back there nibbling instead of going right after him. See what Darno dials up this time. You got a full count, runner at first, 2 outs. Standing on deck is Gonzalez, a very dangerous right-handed bat. The payoff pitch, 94, missed up top, and that'll be a walk. So the nibbling got to Darno once again. He does that when he's behind the plate. But Max does have the ability to shake him off. So 2 on, 2 out. Nick Gonzalez comes to the plate. Very dangerous spot here. Last thing you want to do is fall behind Skeens. First pitch on the way to Gonzalez is swung on, rifled foul, back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Did y'all catch the end of that Giants-Dodgers game last night? Wow, was that a game. Giants hit a walk-off home run into the drink there in San Francisco. The 0-1 from Max. Curveball. Top of the zone. Arrieta blew yet another call. 1-1. We saw Arrieta last week, and he had a very poor scorecard. In general, not one of your higher-ranked umpires, which is strange because he's one of the younger ones. The 1-1. Curveball nowhere near the zone. Ball 2, 2-1. 2-1 count. Mad Max nibbling around. He's now at 21 pitches. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. 21 into the inning. Pitch on the way. Swung on. Chop foul off his right leg. Gonzalez goes down. Believe he's going to be okay, but he's going to need a second to walk that off. Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. His left leg hit him in the knee. Oof. On the inside of the knee. Could have been a little worse if you get that front part of the knee. That's where those cracked kneecaps come from, but I think he missed that part. Training staff is checking on him. We're going to turn back time during this game, all the ones we missed earlier in the week and the ones for today. While he's shaking that off. And this week, in 1967 at Tiger Stadium, Al Kaline breaks his hand when he slams his bat into the rack after being struck out by Sam McDowell in the 6th inning. Tigers' 8-1 loss to the Indians. The future Hall of Famer will miss 28 games for the second-place team. They're still checking on him. This week in 1982, the Braves tie a major league mark with 7 double play. Can you believe that? 7 double plays in a 2-0 victory of the Cincinnati Reds. Atlanta turns 4 twin killings in the first 4 innings of the 14-inning Riverfront contest. So not only did you turn 7 double plays, it took you 14 innings to win the game. Man, does that sound like Braves baseball? So I believe he's going to be okay. They checked on him, made sure he didn't have a major injury, and it looks like he's going to be all right. Deuce is wild here in the first. 2 on, 2 out. The 2-2 pitch from Max Fried brings it in the dirt, nowhere near the zone. Ball 3. So Mad Max spitting the bit here in the top of the first inning, about to walk the bases loaded. Cannot fall behind Paul Skeens and expect that to turn out well. So a payoff pitch from Max, the runners are going to be on the move too because of the nibbling. Max steps off the rubber. Because of the nibbling, they've run it to a full count. So the runners are going to be on the go. So now anything that gets down could score too. Pretty good speed on the base pass. The payoff pitch swung on. That ball's rifled up the middle, but right at Ozzie Albies. He's got it, flips it to Olsen, and woo! Got out of that one. Let's grab the bats and get Max a lead. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Stephanie, I'm at the mall and I see your boyfriend walking around with some fat. Jess, what do you mean? I'm with my boyfriend right now.
Something happened to this guy that has never happened again in Major League Baseball history. Danny Goodwin was initially drafted first overall by the Chicago White Sox in the 1971 Major League Baseball draft. Instead of signing with the White Sox, he decided to attend Southern University and A&M in Baton Rouge. Shortly after college, the Angels selected him with the number 1 overall pick in the 1975 Major League Baseball draft, and this time he signed for a Major League record of $150,000. He is the only person drafted with the first overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft twice. In 1979, he would have his best season, batting .289 with 5 home runs and 27 RBIs, all career highs. After his playing days, he served as the Atlanta Braves Director of Community Relations.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Almost Good Beer. Remember, Ed's Almost Good Beer was brewed in God's country when God wasn't looking.
I don't think he was just taking Andro. I think Andro was one of many drugs that he was probably taking for a long period of time. And just a couple of weeks earlier, Randy Barnes, the gold medalist shot putter for the United States, was banned for life for using androstenedione. And here was McGuire being praised as the hero of the country, using the exact same thing. The idea was shoot the messenger. There was certainly not an embracing of the issue that we have a problem and we need to solve this problem. There was no sense in baseball that this is just the tip of the iceberg. We need to look further to see who else is using performance-enhancing drugs. If anything, it was more bury our heads in the sand, maybe it'll go away.
A columnist for the Boston Globe insisted, there's nothing sold in drugstores that can help you hit a home run in the big leagues. Andro, he wrote, was not that different from aspirin, prime rib, coffee, or Wheaties, and McGuire was just the victim of an unfair tabloid-driven controversy.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball, your Atlanta Braves. Time to see Paul Skeens on the bump. The big right-hander brings it. First pitch on the way. 99-mile-an-hour fastball chased off the plate by Kid Kelnick. It's 0-1. Obviously, first time any of these guys have seen Paul Skeens. He throws 5 pitches, but he realistically leans on 2. The 0-1, down and in, 1-1. What you'll see predominantly is this 4-seam and what they call the splinker. It's a splitter sinker. The 4-seam averages 99 miles an hour. The splinker 94, the 1-1 pitch. Swing, pops it up high and deep, going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lamma ding-dong, a solo shot, and your Atlanta Braves are on top 1-0. 367 happy feet by Jerry Kelnick, his 9th home run, 26th RBI of the season, and it's 1-0 hot Atlantic. Well, that's about the quickest click I've ever had. Oh, baby! Big to click is clack. First pitch on to Ozzie Albies. Outside wide for a. Now they're going to call that a strike. It's 0-1. He's got the 4-seamer, the splinker, and then you'll see the slider, the curve. Every once in a while, the change. He's already thrown the change. The 0-1 swung on back up the middle. That ball's roasted in the middle of the defense. A seeing eye single. Hey, we'll take it. Your Atlanta Braves have one on, nobody out. Big bad Paul Skeens. Righty-righty matchup now. Marcell Ozuna, first pitch on the way, swung on, chopped foul on his instep. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty, pitch on the way. 93 right there on the black. 0-2. You got an 0-2 count. Tosses it back over there first. Pretty good pickoff move by Skeens. Almost caught Ozzie with his hand in the cookie jar. Braves 1, Pirates nothing. If you're just joining us, Kid Kelnick has gone yard. There's a high fastball that he slapped over the right field wall. The 0-2 pitch. Tried to get him to chase a slider outside. 1-2. I don't believe we've seen that splinter yet. I'm a little surprised with that 2 strikes. He didn't try to go to that. So a 1-2 from Skeens. Runner at first, nobody out, pitch on the way. Swung on, swats it back, foul 98 miles an hour. Right in there on his hands. Game 2 of a 3-game series. Remember tomorrow, guys, tomorrow's game is an early game. It's the Roku, used to be the Peacock game. There's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on, pops it up. Will that stay in place? First base side over there. Just going to get on top of the Braves dugout to keep Ozuna alive. 1-2. First baseman Connor Joe gave it a go, but couldn't bring it in. It's the Roku game tomorrow. It's an early pitch. It is 11:35 Eastern time. So 1-2 to Ozuna. Kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it foul down the third base side. We'll do it again. I saw this one thing going around on, I think it was Twitter. I forget what it was. Some guy pops up and goes, "Why is the game so early tomorrow?" People are explaining to him, "Well, it's the Roku game." He said, "Well, I know it's on Roku, but why is it so early?" And someone tries to explain to him, "Well, they paid for the rights to have the early game of the day," is the 1-2 down and away. Do it again, 2-2. And he kept going in a circle. Because this knucklehead kept going, "Yeah, but why is it 11:35? It's like, because they want the game on earlier than any other time. Than any other game, so they have the audience to themselves. The 2-2. Outside wide. Ball 3-2. So Skeens is in trouble here. You got a 3-2 count. Righty-righty matchup. Skeens turns around and flips it over there first. That was close. Almost got Ozzie there on the side. Braves 1. Pirates nothing. Kid Kelnick with the solo shot. The payoff pitch. Swing! And did he get a piece of that? He just got a piece of it. Popped out of the glove of the hind catcher. He couldn't quite hold on. So another payoff pitch from Skeens. He's working his pitch count up yet without an out, his 15th of the day. Swung on, chopped over to third, and that's what the doctor ordered right there. It's a 5-4-3 rally-killing double play. So that'll wipe out Ozzie. Braves lead at 1-0. Matt Olson will step to the dish. One nothing your score, bottom of the first inning. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is a curveball down and in. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Up top. For a strike, 1-1. Got him with the bender on that one. The 1-1 count. Lets her go high and out of the zone. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Skeens brings it. Nowhere near the zone. Changeup misses. 3-1. The 3-1 just grabs the outer cut of the zone. 3-2. Hit him with the splinker. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him with 99 cheese. About let her high, and that'll end the inning. But out before Kid Kelnick gets us on the board. It's 1-0. Braves over the Pirates. We head to the second.
This sucks, and it's horse but I'm too polite to say anything because I'm a class act.
This is the greatest baseball team name that has ever existed. They are the Florence Y'alls. They are based in Florence, Kentucky. And you might be asking yourself, how do they get this name? The baseball team is named after the water tower in town, which says Florence Y'all on it, which was previously Florence Mall, but the state of Kentucky told the city to change it because the mall hadn't been built yet. And this is the best part. Wait, the mascot is the town's water tower. I am buying stock on the Florence Y'alls. I am all in.
Armchair.
It's not whether you win or lose. It's like the team that wins is the one that has the most fun. You know, that crap like that. You know, all this stuff that's contaminated America where they give every kid a trophy and they don't keep score in Little League anymore.
Armchair.
We went in the lobby there, went up to the desk and said, "What room is the babe in?" And the clerk told him. So what a different time it was. So we went to the elevator, went up the elevator to the floor, went to the door. The door was open by one of the largest men I've ever seen in my life. He was the color of mahogany. And Uncle Roy said, "Is the babe here?" And this man turned over his shoulder and said, "Babe, there's some people out here to see you." Then I realized who it was that had opened the door. It was Gehrig. And I was amazed at Gehrig. And Gehrig stepped back, and Babe Ruth came out. He had a big cigar in one hand and a drink in the other. And he said, "Hello." I said, "Babe, these boys have come up to see you. They're great fans of yours." He said, "Well, I'm glad to hear it, and I'm glad to see you boys." And he put his hand out, and my little 9-year-old cousin shook his hand, and I shook his hand, and he said, "I've been so glad to see you," and shut the door and went back in. And that's my Babe Ruth story.
First pitch on the way. Mad Max fires one to Brian Hayes outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 lets her go. Just misses. 2-0. You got a 2-0 count. The pitch from Max. Swing and a miss. Sinker up top, well out of the zone. He came out of his shoes on that one. He made up his mind about right around the first coffee this morning. He was swinging at that 2-0 pitch. The 2-0 from Max. Right there, 91 on the inner track. 2-2. So Max evens up the count. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, chopper over Max's head. Arcia tries to barehand it, but couldn't get the handle, and it's going to be an infield single for Brian Hayes. Second night in a row, Arcia has to try to barehand one. He's not going to get Brian Hayes if he has to transfer the ball out of his glove. So he goes for broke, but Ozzie backed him up by getting the ball that rolled behind him. Triolo comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Cutter inside. Did he go around? They checked down the line. He did not. 1-0. Lefty, righty, the 1-0 pitch. Swing, pops it up, high in the sky, into right field. Coming underneath it is Adam Duvall. He'll make the catch, 1 away. Laureano once again out of the lineup. They said they thought he would be back in tonight or this afternoon, however you want to look at this game, the 4:10 first pitch. But he is not in the lineup. He might have saw the video on Skeen, says, "Yeah, I think I'll sit out one more day. I'm available to pinch hit late in the late innings, though." First pitch on the way is a curveball to Yasmani Grandal. Misses up high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Max fires it over to first to keep Hayes close by. Max has a really good pickoff move. That wasn't it. That was kind of his mid one. Cubs lead the Brewers 2-0. They're early on in the third, heading to the third. The 1-0 for Max. Darno sets up outside. Pitch on the way. 94 inside, 1-1. So you got a 1-1 count. Lifts and deals. Swing. That ball's laced into center field. That is down for a base hit. Kid Kelnick comes over, cuts it off. Hayes goes first to second. Station to station baseball, but Max Fried once again on the ropes here in the second. Danced around danger in the first. He continues to put these base runners on. That's eventually going to come home to roost. First and second, 1 out. We could love a double play here. Pitch on the way to Michael Taylor, the number 9 hitter. Swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Taylor with good speed. He'll be hard to double up. You do have the catcher running it first. The 0-1. Right there at the knees, 1-1. Standing on deck, Andrew McCutcheon in the top of the order. Paul Skeens comes in with a 2.14 ERA today. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the strikeout. High cheese up top, 2 away. Mad Max busted him inside, couldn't catch a round on it. His second strikeout of the day. And Andrew McCutcheon, who struck out his first time up, now stands in the box. McCutcheon, first pitch on the way, swung on, and that ball's lifted into center field. Misreading it, but changing his timing, backing up, and making the catch is Kid Kelnick. Whew! That was close. He almost misread that and got over his head. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Mom, what's the vibe for tomorrow?
What do you mean, what's the vibe for tomorrow?
Said people are coming over, like, what are we doing?
My family's coming over, your cousins, and we're going to have cocktails and
so we're
appetizers.
drinking? Are we like drinking, or?
What does that mean?
Like, I don't want to drink unless we're blacking out.
Oh, my God.
Reardon delivers. There's a fly ball, deep left center field, right looking up. He did it! He did it! Bob Horner has become the 11th player in baseball history to hit 4 homers in one game.
I get to Anaheim, I know nobody, and I sit in my locker, and I'm just kind of like hoping somebody would notice me. Tommy Lasorda is the manager. He goes over the pitching lineup, and I don't even think there's a chance I pitch. And then he tells me I'm pitching second. So now I'm completely nervous. Rick Russell starting, Wade Boggs, Bo Jackson, number 1 and number 2 hitters. I'm trying to get to the bullpen, and no one will take me there. Veterans are like, hey, we want to watch the first inning, because back then starters go 3 innings, right? 2 minimum. So I'm sitting in a dugout. Rick Russell's getting beat up. Tommy Lasorda gets on the bullpen phone, and he says, hey, get Smoltzy up, and I'm right here. And he's like, kid, what are you doing? And I said, I have no idea how to get to the bullpen. He goes, how many pitches is it going to take you? I said, literally 7. It's 7 pitches. I'm in my first All-Star game. I forgot everything anybody told me. I get first and third, 1 out, Bo Jackson up. I'd already seen him hit one 440 feet, and I'm just trying to get a double play ball. 2-hopper to Ozzie Smith to Ryan Sandberg. He beats it out. Like the loss, Nolan Ryan, the oldest pitcher ever to get the win. I was the youngest pitcher to ever get the loss.
Ruth, here's your contract, 2 years. That's to be agreed upon. Will you kindly sign it?
Yes, sir, Colonel.
In 1930, just months after the stock market crashed, Babe Ruth signed a 2-year contract that paid him $80,000 a season, more money than any player had ever been paid in the history of the game. When a reporter asked him whether it was unseemly in the midst of the Depression to be getting a bigger salary than President Herbert Hoover, he answered, why not? I had a better year than he did.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Austin Riley leads us off against Paul Skeens, who threw 21 pitches his first inning. Riley swings at the splinker, bangs it off the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. Skeens brings it just outside wide. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Skeens comes set, kicks and fires right there at the knees, 93-mile-an-hour splinker 1-2. The 1-2, Skeens comes set, the pitch swung on, banged over to third. Hayes has it, flips it over to first, 5-3 put out. Riley was busting it down the line, but it's one away. Appreciate y'all smashing that like button. And appreciate the peer pressure from Go John. Hit that century mark, we'll take the sign down. First pitch on the way to Travis d'Arnaud. That's banged on the ground. That's a 5-3 put out. Quickly 2 away. So almost a carbon copy of the last swing by Riley. He banged that splinker into the ground and quickly 2 down. 2 down. And here he comes to bat.
Run, Forrest, run!
Forrest Ball steps to the dish. Pitch on the way, down and away. It's 1-0. Skeens comes set, kicks and fires. Just grabs the outer edge. 1-1. Thought we might see a bunt attempt by Forrest. He may be less likely to do that with 2 outs. The infield, for whatever reason, is back and to the right. The 1-1, down below the knees, 2-1. The infield, so the third baseman's playing where he normally is, even with the bag, but the rest of the infield is back and to the right. Anything he were to drag, he's going to beat out. The 2-1, swung on, chopped foul, down the line towards the dugout, first base side, 2-2. You put that to rest now with 2 strikes, but man, I cannot believe with his speed that they don't realize that he could just pull one over towards first, and there's no stopping him. The 2-2 pitch, 99 up top, swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. Maybe we'll try that the next time he comes up. When we come back, the heart of the Pittsburgh Pirate order, Max Fried, didn't get much of a rest. He'll go back to work.
I'm kind of like the total package that got effed up during shipping and handling.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
I saw an ad the other day that said, you too can look like Dolly Parton for only $500. Boy, I wish I'd have seen that ad before I dished out the millions it cost me to look like Dolly Parton.
It costs a lot of money to bring the real world champion on location. When last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. Woo!
Despite the Depression, baseball was still big in New York, where Babe Ruth still dominated the game and filled the headlines. He was the idol of every schoolboy, the delight of every sports writer. Drinking and eating too much, cheerfully lighting up the half-smoked cigars he found on the men's room floor, doing his best to ignore the younger sluggers who were now overtaking him, including his seemingly invincible teammate, Lou Gehrig.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Max Fried. He's right there at the knees to Reynolds, but called low for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Marlins and Phillies are 1-1 in the bottom of the third. The 1-0 pitch swung on, hit high. Not very deep. Pops it up into right center. Kelenic calling off Duvall, one away. Gordon hit a 350-foot solo shot for Miami in the second. Stubbs answered it with a 380 shot for the Phillies in the third. Remember, they just lost Bryce Harper and Schwarber to the IL, and they're both expected to miss the Braves series next week. The 0-1 off the plate wide. Excuse me, the first pitch to Joe is off the plate, but called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, that one's inside, called for a strike. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Lefty righty. Braves clinging to a 1-run lead here in the third. The pitch for Max. Darno sets up inside. Sinker misses high. Mets lead the Astros 3-1. That game is in the second. I think Valdez was pitching for Houston today. They're having a tough series in New York. The 1-2 swung on, that ball's hit over on towards the first base side. It's a slow dribbler. Olsen grabs it. Fried covering the bag. A 3-1 put out, I should say. 2 away. Good old-fashioned spring training defense on that one. 2 down. Good to see you, Marguerite. Jillian. Catch a couple people who may have gotten in here a little late. I think I've said hi to most of the others in the chat. If we haven't, just jump on in the chat. The first pitch on the way from Fried to Olivares is a swing and a miss strike. On the inner cut, it's 0-1. He came out of his shoes on that one. Reminds me of some of the ones you play on MLB The Show, and you've swung that, you swung the bat with the X button, and you're like, it's not going to happen. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, that ball's lifted high into left center, into left field, just over Arcia's head and just in front of Forrest Wall. So it's a seeing eye single. Little Texas blooper. And Pittsburgh once again has another runner on base. Can't keep dancing around this danger. They've had someone on in each and every inning. Runner on first, 2 outs. Thought we were going to get a 1-2-3 finally. Pitch on the way to Mac, swung on, chopped on the ground. This should do it. Arcia fires it over to second. Close play, but that'll end the inning. 6-4 on the play if you're scoring at home. Duvall, Arcia, and Kid Kelnick are coming to the dish.
Hey, don't tell me to make myself at home if you get mad when I cuss your kids out and tell them to sit their bad ass down somewhere.
Most people know the name Billy Martin from the Pine Tar incident in 1983, but not too many people know that it wasn't the first time he called out another team for breaking the rules. On April 25th, 1981, the Oakland A's are visiting the Seattle Kingdome to face off against the Seattle Mariners when Martin senses something is off. He thinks the batter's box looks a little bigger than normal and asks the umpire to break out the ruler and measure it. The verdict? It measured 7 feet, not the customary 6 feet. If you're wondering, the extra foot was in the direction of the mound. After the game, the Mariners groundskeeper admits he was expanding the box under orders from Seattle manager Maury Wills. As a result, Wills was suspended for 2 games and fined $500. His reasoning was he wanted players to stay in the box, but Martin suspects he does it to gain an advantage over his pitching staff, who throws a large number of breaking balls. It couldn't have helped too much because during Wills' time with the Mariners, they go 26 and 56. A little over a week after the incident, the new owner of the Mariners fires Wills on May 6, 1981. Now you know about the batter's box game.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Go to college, grad school, work?
Gehrig had become the best hitter in the American League, driving in runs at a faster clip than Ruth, but he still had to settle for second billing. The two men were growing increasingly distant, and now Gehrig became obsessed with setting a record no one could ever match. Since May of 1925, he had not missed a single game, and despite aches, sprains, and fevers, he determined never to take himself out of the lineup. "Why don't you take a rest?" someone asked him. "There's no point to it. I like to play baseball, and if I were to sit on the bench, the worry and fretting would take too much out of me."
You're listening to Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back. Adam Duvall takes a swing at the very first pitch. A splinker coming out of the hand of Mr. Skeens. Bangs a foul. It's 0-1. Adam, 165 average, 530 OPS, 6 home runs, 19 RBI. The 0-1. Tried to get him to chase a slider well and out of the zone. 1-1. Saturdays, we try to play catch-up on the turn-back time, so we'll flip these in, a couple of the ones that we did not get to, and then the ones for today. The 1-1 pitch, down and away, 2-1. So at 2-1, kicks and fires, outside wide, ball 3, 3-1. On this, or actually yesterday, in 1969, one of the ones we didn't get to last night, is a 3-1 pitch to Duvall. Lets her go. Swung on, chopped foul down the line, 3-2. In 1969, June 28th, after an 11-game losing streak in their previous contest, the expansion Padres are the victims of a 19-0 shutout for the second time this season, when the Dodgers right-hander Don Drysdale, Dandy Don, equals the NL record for the largest margin of victory in a shutout. The payoff pitch from Skeens, swung on, chopped foul again, do it again, 3-2. LA scores more than half of their runs in the third inning, crossing the plate 10 times, and that was on yesterday's date in 1969. God bless. Can you imagine having to sit through a 19-0 shutout? The payoff pitch. Did he go around? He did. Strike 3. Duvall didn't argue with it. Slider well off the plate. I mean, dove way outside the plate. That thing was in the left-hand batter's box. That probably hits the batter if he's standing in the left-hand batter box. Duvall couldn't hold up. One down. Orlando Arcia comes to the plate. First pitch to Orlando. Swung on, chopped back across the mound. You couldn't have rolled that one out there better. That was basically a swing and bunt. We'll take it. With Arcia's woes, anything could wake him up. Get yourself a base hit, Arcia. Arcia later down the first base line. Looks like we got another country club membership. Denise Morton, gifted by the GOAT. Welcome to the Country Club, Denise. First pitch on the way is a splinker at the knees to Jared Kelnick. Kid Kelnick takes it for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Rocks and fires. 98 at the knees. 0-2. 0-2 count. Righty lefty. Kid Kelnick, first time up, blasted one into the seats for a 1-0 lead to start the game. The 0-2. Outside wide slider, nowhere near the zone. That one would have hit a right-handed batter. 1-2. Braves 1. Pirates nothing. The 1-2 from Skeens. 99 way outside wide, 2-2. So once down 0-2, he's worked it back to an even count. Runner at first. 1 out. The pitch to Kelnick. Ball 3. So he's definitely gun shy of giving him some high cheese inside again. You got a full count coming now. Arcia at first. The payoff pitch. Down below the knees, ball 4. Great at bat by Kid Kelnick. He's got himself a solo shot. Now he's got himself a walk. Skeens is on the ropes here in the bottom of the third. Ozzie Albies will be coming to the dish. The Wiz is Monty Grandal going out there to talk to Skeens to remind him where the strike zone is. Grandal heading back after getting chased by the home plate umpire. They're required to break those up. Usually give them a good 60 to 90 seconds, and then they go out there and say, all right, then. So runners at first and second. 1 out. Pitch to Ozzie. Swing. Pops it back. Fouling out of play. 95 miles an hour. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty lefty. Open stance. Pitch on the way. Inside. Almost gets him. Skeens been a little wild today. 1-1. If you haven't seen Skeens pitch before, he's normally right on the money. He's going to be a good one for a long time, him and the Jared Jones that they have. Both two young right-handers. The 1-1 from the Pirates rookie. Misses outside, ball 2, 2-1. I'd say the pitching coach is going to go out there and talk to him next if this continues. 6 of his last 7 pitches have been balls. The 2-1, curveball, swatted back foul, 2-2. Nats and Rays are tied up at 1 1/3. Milwaukee Cubs 2-2. Still tied up in the 4th. The 2-2 pitch to Ozzie. Nowhere near the zone. Ball 3. So another full count. Skeens, by the way, at 50 pitches. The payoff to Ozzie. Pitch on the way, nowhere near the zone. Ball 4. Did he go around? He didn't. Don't even know why they checked that down the line. Your Atlanta Braves. They could bust this wide open. Marcell Ozuna coming to the plate. On this date in 1905, New York Giants leading the Brooklyn Superpaws, eventually becoming the Dodgers, 11-1. Archibald Moonlight Graham makes his Major League Baseball debut in the bottom of the ninth inning as a defensive replacement in right field at Brooklyn's Washington Park. The 27-year-old career minor leaguer will not have a major league at bat in his only appearance in the big leagues. This will become immortalized in W.P. Kinsella's book, Shoeless Joe, which became the movie Field of Dreams. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is down and away for a ball after the 0-1 start. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Righty, pitch on the way. Swung on, hit hard on the ground, backhanded by the shortstop Triola. He'll fire over to first, and a 6-4-3 rally-killing double play. Man, oh man, I thought he was going to get that through the hole. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
My pronouns are USA. Who exactly started telling people that what birthday parties looked like in the 80s? First of all, we didn't have birthday parties in the 80s. We were lucky if our parents remembered our birthday. Growing up in Gen X, you had at least one birthday that your parents just completely forgot. Once in a while, there'd be a kid in your class who was having his birthday party at McDonald's. Your whole class was invited. Like, even the kid that eats glue that nobody likes got to come. We did not have the same McDonald's that kids have today. We had a slide that was the temperature of Satan's ass and this burger prison. And the floor was all these little rocks that would get in your shoe and like stab your foot. There was no point in taking it out because they were gonna get right back in there. You always had one stupid kid in your class that would just pick up like a handful of rocks and like zing them at your face. Nobody cared. Our parents weren't watching. It was anarchy out there. When it was time to eat, we would sit down and get our Happy Meals, and they'd be placed like right next to ashtrays because our moms just chain smoked Virginia Slims the whole time we were there. Number one best part of a McDonald's birthday in the 80s, unlimited orange drink. And if you were the kid that had that party, your status symbol in that elementary school went whoop.
My family and other families in the South, religious families, would not allow us to play on Sunday. We had to go to church on Sunday, not play baseball. But they would have Saturday games at these churches out in the fields, and the whole community would turn out to see him play.
It was the era of dress up. It was that era. See, the men have on ties, hats. The ladies had on their fine dresses. In our baseball, a Sunday baseball, in our faith, Methodist, Baptist, or whatnot, 11 o'clock service on Sunday. But when the Monarchs in town or when the East-West game was on, they started church at 10 o'clock. So they could get out an hour earlier so they could come to the ball game. So they got on their finery coming from church. They came straight to the ball game, looking pretty. Yes, we loved it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Max Free goes back to work. The Braves cling to a one-run lead. First pitch on the way is a four-seamer outside wide for a ball. 1-0 for Max. Right there, top of the zone. 1-0. Braves grabbed the 1-0 lead with a Kid Kelnick home run just under the chop shop if you're just joining us. That happened in the first at bat in the first inning. The 1-1's fouled back 1-2. Framber Valdez and the Astros, you can about put a fork in them. They're getting beat 6-1 by the Mets. Mets are on fire, and the Astros are spinning out of control. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him with the curveball. What a way. Last outing, Max really had that curveball working. Today, it's not quite as sharp, but it's still pretty good. That's his third strikeout of the day. When he's really got that curveball, and I mean really got that thing going, you'll see Max's curveball just drop about either knee-high or just below the knees to the batters. Comes in like a teardrop. First pitch on the way is a curveball high and outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Pitch on the way, swung on, lined over to short. Arcia's got it. L6 in your scorecard, 2 down. Yes, sir, Caesar. Buck O'Neill's one of my favorites. Went to the Negro League Hall of Fame in Kansas City years ago. And I was already familiar with him because of all the different books and documentaries that he's in. His first pitch on the way to Grandal is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. But I really became a huge Buck O'Neill fan when I went to the Hall of Fame there and read up on him and talked to some folks that knew him. The 1-0 pitch, 94. That might have been a touch high, but we'll take the strike. 1-1. The 1-1. Curveball chopped on the ground. The Vacuum's got it. Magic Kingdom. Arcia flips it to first. That'll end the inning. He might struggle with the bat, but that glove is golden, baby. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Y'all, I can't believe we used to print out MapQuest and be out here traveling like pirates.
Hey, y'all can't search his car without warrant, dude. No, that's dude. You can't search your. Hey, dude, they can't search your car without warrant. You tell them,
dude.
What? What? You, dude. Hey, y'all, if y'all need a warrant to search his car, dude, I'll let you have one, dude. I got a whole bunch of warrants, dude. Yeah, bet you didn't know that, dude. I was trying to help you, dude. Yeah, dude, I got a whole bunch of warrants. Just run the plate. Yeah, y'all can borrow as many as you need, dude. Yeah.
Sir, can you show me some ID?
My ID?
Yep.
No.
Show me your ID.
I got a gun. Yeah. No. I got a zip. I gotta get out of here, dude.
Sir, step out of the vehicle.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
Marvel or DC? What's your opinion?
Oh, it's the same damn thing. They are the same. Okay, here we go. Okay, here you go. You got Hyperion in Marvel, that's your Superman. All right, you got your Quicksilver, that's your Flash. All right, you got your Namor, that's your Aquaman. All right, then what's the girl that keeps getting her hair cut and everybody? You got Captain Marvel, that's your Wonder Woman. All right, and then you got your Moon Knight, and that's your Batman.
As I look back, remember now, my mother would make a ball out of a sock and put a rock inside of it, and you play with that. And as I got a little bit older, the guys, when they break a bat, we'd put tacks and nails in it and put tape on it, and we just make up a little team. And as I got a little bit old, all the towns and cities had baseball teams, factory teams, and or steel mill or furniture store, because that was basically the only thing that you could do was play baseball in the summertime.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this one 1-0. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Paul Skeens goes back to work. Matt Olson leads us off. First pitch on the way is 92 off the cut. Splinker misses. It's 1-0. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 97 right in his kitchen. 1-1. The 1-1 swung on. That ball is belted down the right field line, but plenty foul. 1-2. One-two count. Righty lefty. The pitch outside wide. Ball 2-2-2. Got a book by Buck O'Neill. It's called I Was Right on Time. He's got such a great perspective. Had such a great perspective. He's long past. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, Strike 3, splitter right there in on the hands underneath. 1 away. Man, can he bring it. It's really interesting takes that he had, because at the time that a lot of folks were asking him, was he bitter because he played in the Negro Leagues and was not there for the – he was a little too old for there for the integration when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. It was the first pitch on the way to Austin Riley as well, outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. And he always said, and it was the theme of the book, was – had I came along a little later, I would have missed all that I got to enjoy. Talking about playing with all the guys in the Negro League. The 1-0 pitch swung on. That ball is going to get dropped down into right field. Inside out swing by the rake. We got 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. But his whole point was, had I came along, we'll say if he came along in the 50s or whatever, he wouldn't have got to play with all the guys that he got to play with, like the Josh Gibsons. He's got some great stories. You know, he played with Satchel Paige. He played with all of them. And his point was is that the camaraderie they had was priceless, and he wouldn't trade it for anything. First pitch on the way to Darnode was banged off the plate hard, foul. It's 0-1. One of the things that gets lost in the integration of the leagues, that a lot of the fans back then, it was just, I don't know if there was a way to avoid it, but what happened was when they integrated the leagues, all the fans, as the 0-1 pitch swung on, hit hard on the ground. That's through the hole. That's going to get into left field. The Braves got runners on first and second and 1 out. But what ended up happening, as you can imagine, when Jackie went over to the Dodgers, and then you eventually had other superstars coming up like Willie Mays and all the other guys, Larry Doby and whatnot. Fans wanted to go out and watch them play in the Major League, see how they could fare in the Major Leagues. And eventually what happened over a handful of years, the attendance in the Negro Leagues died, and it killed the leagues. Of course, that was long before you had television rights and whatnot. That might have kept him around. First pitch on the way to Forrest Wall. He shows bunt, pulls it back. It's 1-0. The 1-0. The infield is once again back into the right. A bunt would cause a lot of chaos right now. The 1-0. Outside wide 2-0. I know he just kind of gingerly showed that bunt in the first pitch of this at bat, but he should really go after it, because that defense is so far back. I don't think they realize how fast Forrest Wall is. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1. He's playing into their hands, swinging at anything on the outside part of the plate. With his speed, he wants to bang it on the ground and cause chaos. Not much of a chance of a double play with Forrest Wall at the bat, which to me is a great combo when you got the slow-footed Darnode in front of him. The 2-1. Outside wide, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. First and second, just 1 down. The pitch to Wall. Swung on, pops it back, foul. See, that to me right there is a pitch that he's got to make that home plate umpire call a strike. It was right there. It was a 50-50 pitch. If he calls it a strike, fair enough. But if you make contact with that, you're not doing anything with it except a can of corn. With your speed, your number one job is to get on base. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him, 2 down. So 2 down. Marlins and Phillies are still tied. They're in the 5th. Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phils. Adam Duvall comes to the plate. Trying to find any way to get one in and down into the outfield. 2 on, 2 out. The pitch to Adam Duvall. Swing and a miss. Curveball misses. It's on. Pops it up high over towards the first base dugout. It'll stay in play, and Joe makes the catch. That'll end the inning. Braves threaten again, but once again cannot score. We go to the 5th, 1-0 in Atlanta.
Veganism is the sad result of a morally corrupt mind. Reconsider your life.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company. When I grow up, I want to be hired based on what I look like rather than my skills.
I want to be judged.
I want to get promoted
based on my chromosomes. When I grow up, I want to be offended by my coworkers and walk around the office
on eggshells
and have my words policed
by HR.
Words like grandfather,
peanut gallery,
long time no see,
no can do.
When I grow up,
I want to be obsessed with emotional safety and do workplace sensitivity training all day long. When I grow up, I want to climb the corporate ladder
just by following the crowd.
I want to be a conformist. I want to weaponize my pronoun. Armchair.
So I was talking to my neighbor because I heard some commotion going on at his house. And I was like, what the hell was going on at your house? He said, girl, I had 2 girls fighting over my ass and I had to call the cops. I was like, damn. He said, yeah, I had to call the cops because the ugly one was winning.
One thing to learn as a parent is get you a swear sock. Every time they you off, you put a couple quarters in it. About the time you fill it up enough, you beat the out of them with it.
We would play ball in the afternoon, and down to the auditorium that night, we would all go down to here, Duke Ellington. That's father, huh? The best in the world. We knew him. You know what I mean? Buddy. We ate together. This was actually an exciting era. Yeah.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Max Fried goes back to work here in the top of the 5th inning. Braves 1, Pirates nothing. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss by Michael Taylor, the number 9 hitter. It's over. The 0-1 from Fried, his 58th of the afternoon. 92 up top. Did he go around? Looked like he did. First base umpire Larry Vanover. I'm sorry, that's David Rackley has not been giving that all game long. The 1-1. Changeup misses well outside, 2-1. The 2-1 from Fried. Lifts his glove, turns, and delivers. Swing, and that ball's laced into left field. That is going to get down for a base hit. And it's runner at first. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. One nothing your score. Fried. He's had traffic on the bases pretty much all day long. He has allowed 5 hits in the 4 innings plus. He's also walked 1. First pitch on the way is a sweeper, nowhere near the zone, 1-0. So he's had 6 runners on base in the 4+ innings as the top of the order flips over. The 1-0 to McCutcheon. Lefty-righty. Fried delivers. Changeup misses well off the plate, 2-0. Michael Taylor dancing, got a big lead over there at first. You better watch out. Fried's got a quick move. The 2-0. 95 up top. Didn't get the call. David Arrieta pinching him. 3-0. Three-0 count. Reynolds stands on deck to pitch. Up top, 92. Cutter, 3-1. Braves 1, Pirates nothing. Top of the 5th inning. The 3-1 pitch. Nowhere near the plate. Ball 4. So Max Fried walks another one. Now 2 walks versus 3 strikeouts and 5 hits allowed. Brian Reynolds, the number 2 batter, stands in. First pitch, right there for a strike on the outer edge. Changeup, it's 0-1. He has struggled with his command today. He's fought through it for 4 scoreless innings, but in danger here. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Desperately need a double play. The 0-1, curveball, chopped foul. That was a good curve. That's one of his better ones he's thrown today. 75 right there at the knees, 0-2. That's the pitch. When he's got that working, he's either going to get a strikeout or they're going to bang it into the dirt for a double play. Cleveland leads Kansas City 3-2. The 0-2 pitch, 96 inside, 1-2. One-two count. Pitch from Fried. Slider misses, 2-2. So after 0-2, the nibbling begins again. And Fried and Darnode have worked it to a 2-2 count. Instead of going right at these guys. The 2-2. Swung on, chopped over towards short. Arcee's got to charge it. Fires it over to first. Barely gets Reynolds. 1 away. Runners from first and second move up to second and third. So now a blooper, a bleeder, anything would give them the lead. Good throw by Arcea. Reynolds has good wheels. He was bussing it down the line. First pitch on the way from Fried is swung on. Bang, foul down the third base line. It's 0-1. Bending curveball to Connor Joe. Connor Joe, his splits. You'll see him start more against the lefties, and he can hit the left-handed pitching. The 0-1 to Joe. Sinker, down and away, 1-1. Standing on deck is Olivares. Joe has 7 home runs on the year. Braves lead it, 1-0. The 1-1. Pitch on the way. Changeup nowhere near the zone. Nibbling again, 2-1. 2-1 count. Braves infield is back, willing to concede the run in the tie game to prevent a single, which would give the Pirates a lead. The 2-1 pitch. Slider nowhere near the zone. Ball 3, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Fried. Comes set. Joe digs in the pitch. Right there for a strike, taking all the way slider. Full count. You got a full count to Joe, second and third. Good speed on the base paths. The payoff pitch, swung on, chopped foul. Curveball. May have got a piece of Darnode. Taylor at first. Taylor at first. McCutcheon at second. The payoff pitch. Nowhere near the zone, ball 4. So he tried to go to that slider that he has not controlled at all today. Don't know why you would dial that up with a full count, but he did, and he spit the bit, and now runners are all over the pond. Ducks all over the pond, bases loaded. Kranitz goes back out there to talk to him. Just a terrible decision to go to that slider when he has not done well with that all game long. He's been hitting his spots pretty much with the curve, but you would think you would just challenge him with the fast or the sink. The base is loaded now. Can't dance around and walk anyone now, and Oliveras, who has 5 home runs on the year, comes to the plate. Oliveras with a .662 OPS. Lefty-righty matchup. Only 1 out still. Fried. Really in trouble here. Long inning, 77 pitches in. First pitch, 95 right there on the black. It's 0-1. He hasn't had a hard time getting ahead of the hitters. Once they get ahead of him and Darnode start nibbling. The next thing you know, it's a full count or worse. The 0-1. Fried comes set. Lets her go. Swung on, hit high and deep into right field. Coming in, making the catches, Duvall. Duvall's going to fire it into the infield, and they are going to keep runners at bay. Taylor comes across to score it. It's a tie game, but I'll take that all day long. Good throw by Duvall. Smart not to come home with it, because if he goes home, runner's going to go to third. You may even get at second and third. But instead, you keep the force play across the board here with 2 outs. Nick Gonzalez, very dangerous bat from the right side, stands in. 749 OPS, first pitch. Curveball up top for a strike. It's 0-1. On this date in 1909, the Pittsburgh Pirates host their last game at Exhibition Park, defeating the Chicago Cubs 8-1 in front of 5,545 fans. The 0-1 swung on, chopped foul, 0-2. That stadium sat on the north side of the Allegheny River. The team will begin to play at Forbes Field the next day. Spacious venue constructed of concrete and steel in the Oakland neighborhood of Pittsburgh. The 0-2, slice foul down the line. Do it again, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Braves trying to keep it right here at 1-1. Max Fried at 82 pitches now. About 30, almost, well, 27 pitches in this inning. The 0-2, nowhere near the zone, 1-2. First and second, 2 outs. The 1-2, see if they'll actually be aggressive here. or if they'll go back to the trying to get him to chase well off the plate. The 1-2 pitch swung on. That ball was right in there on his kitchen, swung at it. I think if he lays off of that, that ball's actually going to hit him. That's how wild Fried has been. That came really close inside. Maybe not. It would have been really close. That ball did hit him after it hit the bat. Man, it was riding in on him. Saw that video the other day of the guy that struck out. When he struck out, the ball hit him in the breadbasket and smacked him in the face. He would have easily been hit by the pitch, but he chased it and it came up and hit him and then ricocheted and smacked him in the face. The 1-2 to Gonzalez. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Out of it finally. Good night, Irene. About a 30-pitch inning for Max Fried, but we're tied heading to the bottom of the 5th.
Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you owe me money saying I ain't forgot about you, it's not a form of payment.
Let's be realistic. It's about value.
Yeah, and your value is low.
Oh, wow. And how do you know that? You're not
because
sure
you're 5'4" and 200 pounds.
Okay.
And 37 years old with 2 kids. That's how I know. In Kentucky.
Okay. That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion.
You never seen my body before, so you just
I don't have to see your body. I know you're 5'4" and almost 200 pounds with 2 kids in Kentucky.
Armchair.
Is this our vacation?
Yeah.
Oh. Are we trash?
Kinda.
Oh.
I was talking to this girl and she said, you know what, I call my the lotto because guys are lucky to hit it. And I turned around and looked at her. I said, I thought you called it that because you're always scratching it.
Great is baseball, the national tonic, the reviver of hope, the restorer of confidence. The Sporting News.
The idea of a baseball game on a sunny spring or summer day is the spontaneity of going. Let's go to the park, you say, at 2 o'clock when the game were played at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go to the bleachers. And you go and you get a ticket and you sit down. You hadn't thought about it in the morning, but if you were free, you say, for one reason or another. And it was the spontaneity of it. And sitting there in the sunshine and watching experts, good, skilled craftsmen, ply their trade.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. They're doing a little maintenance on the mound here. Not sure what happened, but Paul Skeens had the grounds crew to come out there to mess with the mound. I guess Max Fried threw so many pitches he tore up the mound down there. I'm not sure. Max Skeens is looking at Paul Skeens is looking at the mound as they do the manicuring. Guess he's thinking to himself, man, they didn't do this at LSU. What the hell? Skeens will finally get a chance to start warming up. So while he does that, we'll go ahead and hit our last turn back time of the day. Guess he didn't get a chance to warm up during the break because Princess had to have have the mound manicured. On this date in 1948, Johnny Antonelli, who will make his major league debut in 5 days as an amateur free agent, giving the 18-year-old Jefferson High School from Rochester, New York, senior a $52,000 bonus, the largest amount ever offered to a player. Returning from Korea, the teenage southpaw becomes a part of the Boston's rotation in 1953 en route to becoming a 2-time 20-game winner in 1954 and 1956. After that, he was traded to the Giants in the offseason of 56. And that's your turn back time for Major League Baseball, June 29th. Looks like Skeens is just about ready. Paul Skeens stands in at 70 pitches, about to fire his 71st here in the bottom of the 5th. First on the way is outside wide. Did he go around? He did not. It's 1-0. Orlando Arcia, as we all suspected, got a base hit his first time up against Paul Skeens. It was an infield single. It was a roller down the third base line, but it looked like a hot shot in the scorecard. The 1-0. Down below the knees, 2-0. The 2-0 count. Kicks and fires. Swung on, hit hard on the ground, but right at Triolo. The shortstop's got it. Fires it to first. 6-3 on the putout. What a way. Skeens, by the way, if you're wondering the tail of the tape right now, Skeens 4 1/3. He has 5 hits allowed. Max 5 innings, 5 hits allowed. They've each given up 1 earned run. Max has walked 3, Skeens 2. Max has struck out 4, Skeens 5. First pitch on the way to Mr. Kelnick. Kid Kelnick, he'll rip one into right field, and that's down for a base hit. And Kid Kelnick, and I wish all my clicks worked this well. Kid Kelnick is 2 for 2. And a walk, a solo shot, and a single. Braves got 1 on, 1 out. Ozzie Albies coming to the plate. Righty-lefty. Open stance from the left side for Ozzie. Swung on and fist set, fouling out of play. It's 0-1. Brewers and Cubs, they're in a fun one in Milwaukee. It's 3-3 in the 6th. Washington leads the Rays 2-1 in the 6th. The 0-1 pitch. Outside wide, 1-1. Out-of-town scoreboard looks like this. The Blue Jays all over the Yankees. I don't remember who was pitching for the Yankees today. It's 8-1 in the 8th. Phillies lead the Marlins 2-1 in the 6th. The 1-1 pitch, 98. Did not get the call, 2-1. A's, they trail the Diamondbacks 3-0 in the 6th. Whew! Good Lord! San Diego 10-0 over Boston in Boston. Remember, they had a 9-run inning last night against the Red Sox. The 2-1, high and out of the zone, 3-1. They had a 9-run inning last night. It looks like this today is a little more evenly distributed, but nonetheless, it's 10-0 in the 6th. The 3-1, swung on, banged on the ground. Kelnick was going, so he'll be safe. He'll get into scoring position. Ozzie Albies is out at the 4-3 putout. There are 2 away, but Kelnick now a single would score him. Big Zoo coming to the plate. Guardians 6-2 over KC in the 5th. Astros climbing back in at 6-4 against the Mets in the 5th inning. Tonight, the 2 national games on Fox, depending on where you live, is the first pitch on the way is a curveball right there at the knees. It's 0-1. Dodgers and Giants is the game most people are going to get. But if you're in the Baltimore or Texas area, the Orioles and Rangers, both of those are 7:15 first pitches. The 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. Now, if you have the MLB app, they'll both be available to you. Later on tonight, 2 late-night tilts. Tigers are at the Angels, Olsen versus Canning. Olsen's an old Georgia kid. And the 1-1 pitch. Slider nowhere near the zone, ball 2, 2-1. Twins are at the Mariners, Pablo Lopez against Miller. So the 2-1 count. His 83rd of the afternoon. Pitch, swing and a miss. 98, outer cut, 2-2. The 2-2. Skeens looks back. Kelnick at second. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. Well, the Braves and Pirates are tied at 1 apiece. We head to the 6th. Max should be heading back out to the bump.
I started drinking at 6 a.m. We're here now. I don't know what time it is, but I'm rolling deep, and those cars are going real fast and real left, son. They're going fast and left. Yeah.
Think you can run this school? If you could, then I wouldn't be here, would I? No one talks in my meetings. No one! Mr. Zarella, you are now my new head football coach. Mr. Darnell will be your assistant. You know why you're being demoted, Mr. Darnell? Because I'm sick and tired of our football team getting pushed all over the field. Thank you. Sit down. I want precision. I want a weight program. You've tried it your way for years. They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
So nothing bad happened? You didn't wreck it? You didn't hit anybody? You didn't run anybody over? You didn't get a speeding ticket? Why are you making that face?
For 3 seasons, even the mighty hitting of Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth could not deny the American League championship to Connie Mack's still mightier Philadelphia Athletic. His newly constituted A's won back-to-back World Series in 1929 and 30, and the pennant in 1931. Mack's finest pitcher was Robert Moses Lefty Grove. He was a savage competitor who sometimes threw at his own teammates in batting practice. The A's hitters rivaled even the Yankees' murderers row. But the most frightening hitter was first baseman Jimmy Fox, Double X, who hit 58 home runs one season, just 2 short of the record Babe Ruth had been sure would never be broken. He cut off his sleeves to display his massive bicep. Even his hair has muscles, a pitcher complained. Opposing players called him the Beast. Jimmy Fox wasn't scouted, a pitcher said. He was trapped.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Freed to Brian Hayes is roasted into right field. That's down for a base hit. Duvall quickly gets it back in. 1 on, nobody out. Hanging curveball on the outer edge. So 1 on. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Lefty righty. Triolo comes to the plate. First pitch. Curveball. Teardrop on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Rocks on fire. Swing. Pops it up. Back out of play, 0-2. Max Fried, 88 pitches now, so he should be able to get out of this inning if it's a fairly quick inning. But Pierce Johnson is warming up just in case. The 0-2 pitch. Cutter misses high, 1-2. The 1-2 from Max. Pitch on the way. The changeup misses well outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Freed, 2-2 pitch. Cutter misses high, ball 3, 3-2. One on, nobody out. The payoff pitch. Swung on, chopped foul down the third base line. That was close. That almost got down fair, and that would have been trouble. Max Fried, now 92 pitches in, brings it. Swing, fouls that back, 40-seam fastball. We'll do it once again. Long back here for Fried. Grandal stands on deck. Taylor in the hole. I can't imagine he would see the top of the order again. The payoff pitch, curveball swung on, pops it up. High in the sky into center field. Coming in, calling everybody off. JK makes the play, F8. One away. In a perfect world, he finishes off these last two batters here at the bottom of the order. We start off with most likely Pierce Johnson in the 7th. Braves and Pirates are tied up 1-1, top of the 6th. First pitch to Grandal, who's 1 for 2. Teardrop at the knees. Curveball, it's on 1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Curveball way outside, high, wide. 1-1. 1-1 count. Free comes set, brings it. 93. Might have got the call if they were set up inside, but they were set up outside, and Darnode had to flip the glove out there. He was never going to get that frame. The 2-1. Right there at the knees, 2-2. Braves 1, Pirates 1. Double play would get them out of this jam. The 2-2. Curveball swung on, lifted into right field, going back, making a tall catch. Adam Duvall. He had to stick that glove up at the last second. That almost got over his head, 2 away. He started to drift in, realized he needed to backtrack. Second time today we've had that happen. First pitch on the way to Michael Taylor is a sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Change up down and away. Runner goes. He'll have that base stolen with ease. I'm surprised we haven't seen folks steal on Travis yet today, but easy stolen base on Darnode. Not a huge jump, but a good jump by Hayes. Good job by Ozzie. He had to backhand that, keep that from going to the outfield. So a 1-1 count, runner at second. Max Fried at 101 pitches. This will be his last batter come hell or high water. The pitch. 93. Would have liked that call. Didn't get it up top, 2-1. The 2-1. Kicks and fires. Swung on, lifted high. Into right field, going back on the warning track at the wall. Making the leaping catch at the wall is Adam Duvall, and that'll end the inning. He's not hitting either, but pretty good glove. Pretty good.
I need you to be honest with me.
I am being honest with you, dude.
This is gonna go a lot easier if you're honest.
And I will, yeah, dude.
Yeah. What are you on right now?
Cloud nine. What? On cloud nine?
No. What are you on right now?
One.
You gotta be honest.
I'm on one, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Stop. What are you on right now, man?
TikTok. What? Instagram. All of them. I'm on all of them.
I'm not talking about your ads. Drugs.
Sure, if you got some.
Armchair. What your favorite type of ice cream says about you. If your favorite type of ice cream is chocolate or vanilla, you're a classic person. You tend to keep to yourself. You do have a lot of friends though, and you're a pretty dope person. Now, if your favorite type of ice cream is pistachio, you either have a taste bud issue or you're 50. That's it. Now, chocolate chip cookie dough, you, my friend, are smart, immaculate, beautiful. Now, I don't know why, but when someone says their favorite ice cream is cotton candy, they're either 5 or they smell like the entire Bath & Body Works store. And if your favorite ice cream is coffee, you, my friend, have a coffee addiction. You should probably get that checked out.
Things change so fast in the United States. All of us had the experience, even by the time we're 40 often, of going back to the place where we grew up and finding everything changed. And something about baseball seems to tie us into that change, or to link us, to carry us across the decades and the times. As the new players come up and the old, formerly new players become old, there's a kind of continuity to it that we don't find in our neighborhoods, where the old factory is torn down, condominiums go up, and baseball, for all its changes, continues. 3 strikes are still an out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this off with Matt Olson. First pitch on the way. Chop foul back behind him. It's 0-1. Paul Skeens, 85 pitches in. Figure this is probably his last inning unless the Braves do him a solid and swing early and often and get him out of it quick. The 0-1. Inside, 1-1. Should have been the conversation by Snicker going into the dugout would be, hey, make him work. He's almost done. Let's get rid of this guy. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, sliced foul and out of play, 1-2. But they've repeatedly asked Snicker about stuff like that, and he does not do it. He's like, what do you want me to do? Manage the team? So a 1-2 count. He thinks he's there just to have the best seat in the house, I guess. The 1-2 count. Olson digs in, pitch, swung on, fisted, foul and out of play. Braves 1, Pirates 1. Bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-2 from Skeens. Kicks in, delivers. Up high, 97, 2-2. The 2-2. Skeens lets her rip. Swing! That ball's popped up, but back out of play. Do it again. Cubs and Brewers are still tied at 3 in the 7th. This has been a nail biter for about 5 innings. The 2-2 pitch. Outside wide, 99. Man, he can still bring it. Ball 3, 3-2. Skeens, the payoff pitch. Swing, slaps it back. Well, organically, Olson's running his pitch count up, so that's good right there. This will be the 93rd pitch for Paul Skeens. The payoff pitch to Olson. Swing and a miss, chase that one out of the zone, well out of the zone. Strikeout. Bad swing by Olson. A pretty good at bat until that final swing. He chased that one. I mean, that one was nowhere near it. One down. And Austin Riley will come to the plate. Riley, 1 for 2 with the single in the fourth. First pitch to Austin is a curveball in the dirt, bounces to the backstop. It's 1-0. Riley, with his 1 for 2 outing so far, has raised his average to 254. 9 home runs, 31 RBI, the 1-0 pitch. Right there for a strike, 98 on the black. Outer edge, 1-1. Pirates do have Carmen Ledzinski warming up in the bullpen. The 1-1 to Riley. Swing. Slaps that foul back. Slider off the edge. 1-2. Braves 1. Pirates 1. Bravos and Buccos. Game 2 of a 3-game set that will conclude tomorrow at 11:35. The 1-2. Caught, looking, strike 3. 94. Froze him on the outer edge. 2 down. 11:35 Eastern tomorrow. Braves and Pirates. We know how the Braves normally struggle offensively in day games anyways. I can't imagine they're going to hit worth a lick at 11:35 in the morning. Travis d'Arnaud will come to the plate. That will be Schwellenbach unless they change their mind. As of right now, it's Spencer Schwellenbach due to pitch tomorrow against Bailey Falter. d'Arnaud, 1 for 2. First pitch on the way. Grabs a curveball. Down and away for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Well outside wide, 98 miles an hour, 1-1. d'Arnaud got a single in the fourth. This is the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Chase that splinker down and away, 1-2. Grounded out to third in the second. He's batting .238 on the year so far. 7 home runs at .752 OPS. The 1-2 pitch, down and away, 2-2. Not great numbers, but I'll tell you what, most teams would kill for a backup catcher with those kinds of numbers. He wouldn't be starting for many, but he'd be first in line for the backup. The 2-2 to d'Arnaud. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by 99 miles an hour. That'll probably do it for Paul Skeens, and he will finish with 9 strikeouts. Max Fried had 4. We head to the 7th, tied at 1.
You saved $1 a day for a year. Do you know how much money you'd have? Roughly $30,000.
What did you eat before and after a match?
The pre-match meal was probably 3 Miller Lights and 2 Tylenols. That was the pre-match meal. And then afterwards, the post-match meal was probably 12 Miller Lights.
What Your Birthday Says About You, Friend Group Edition. If you were born the 24th to the 26th, then you are the partier. You're friends with everybody. You don't care who comes over, who has a good time with you, as long as you're there. If you were born the 6th, then you're definitely the weird one out of the group, but you're still really funny and people love to hang out with you. Now, if you were born the 14th through the 16th, you were definitely more of the quiet person. You'd rather just have all your friends come over, watch movies, whatever, but you'll still go out. Now, if you were born the 9th or the 10th, then you're the type of person that tries to get out of everything. You don't want to party, you don't want to do anything, you just want to sit home by yourself.
On June 3rd, 1932, Lou Gehrig did something even Babe Ruth had never done. He hit 4 home runs in a single game. But that extraordinary feat got him few headlines the next day. Something even more important to baseball had happened. John McGraw was leaving the game.
After 30 years of continuous services, John Joseph McGraw has resigned as manager of the Giants. At the age of 59, Mr. McGraw steps down because of failing health, with his Giants in last place. Mr. McGraw was a product of the old school of baseball, when fistfights were common, when red liquor was sold at all the park, when only ladies of questionable social standing attended the game. To the end, he was faithful to his truculent creed. The last official act he performed as manager of the Giants was to file a protest with the league against Bill Clem, the umpire. Joe Williams, New York World Telegram.
He died 2 years later, mourned by many as the greatest of all baseball managers, the winner of 10 pennants.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves. Pittsburgh Pirates 1-1 heading to the top of the 7th inning, and Pierce Johnson will come in for Max Fried, so that will officially close the books on him. Pierce Johnson comes in with a 3.42 ERA. First pitch on the way. Curveball swatted high. Not very deep into right field. Underneath it is Duvall, one away. One down. Do want to take a second to remember Orlando Cepeda. He passed away yesterday. Played for the Atlanta Braves from 1969 to 1972. Member of the Hall of Fame, National Baseball Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 1999 by the Veterans Committee. First pitch on the way is a curveball, swung on, fouled back. It's 0-1. Nicknamed the Baby Bull, played from the San Francisco Giants from 58 to 66, the Cardinals 66 to 68, Braves from 69 to 72 as the 0-1, outside wide 1-1. Played for the Oakland Athletics in 72, Red Sox in 73, and Royals his final year in 74. He was the National League NL MVP in 1967. The 1-1. Right there, first strike, top of the zone, curveball, 1-2. 11-time All-Star. The home run champion of the National League in 61, and the RBI champion 2 times in 61 and 67. His number 30 is retired by the San Francisco Giants, and he is on their Wall of Fame. 1-2 count. Righty, lefty. Reynolds digs in right there at the knees. Caught looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. 2 away. I think he wanted to argue it, but it was right down Main Street. Time for some pine, Reynolds. 2 away. Two down. O'Neal Cruz will come to the plate. Cruz takes a hack at the first pitch he sees. Curveball over the top. It's 0-1. Cruz coming in to hit for Connor Joe. They've really relegated Joe to only hitting against left-handed pitching. The 0-1. Outside wide, 1-1. Back to Cepeda. He was on the 72 world champion A's and the 67 world champion Cardinals. The 1-0, or excuse me, 1-1, down and away, 2-1. The 2-1, Pierce Johnson comes set. Red glove lifted, kicks, swing and a miss. Curveball 2-2. Cruz is really having a hard time picking up that curveball. I don't know why you'd throw him anything but. If you lay a fastball and he connects with that, he can send that thing through your living room. And it looks like Cruz is going to get an automatic strike, and that'll end the inning. He did not engage, and Pierce Johnson called him out, and that is it. So, never mind. We don't have to do it. He was not engaged. You have to be engaged by the 7-8 second mark, and he was not. Pierce Johnson looked over at the clock. It was at 5 seconds. That'll end the inning. Time to get up and stretch, Braves country. That's 2024 baseball for you. We'll be back in a flash.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. A one, a two, a three. We out to the ball game. Hey, we out to the night. Find me something up, Cracker Jack.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Carmen Ledzinski comes on. First pitch missed for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 kicks and fires to Wall. Strike right there on the top part of the kitchen, 1-1. Ledzinski, big right-hander. Swing and a miss, sweeper down and in, 1-2. Comes in with a 4.03 ERA. From Hilton Head, South Carolina. The 1-2. Four-seamer, well high and out of the zone, 2-2. Drafted by the Pirates in the 2020 draft. Remember, that one only had 5, so he got to be a good one. Drafted out of South Carolina. The 2-2. Ledzinski brings it. Inside slider, good take by Wall. That had to be tempting, 3-2. He pitched 36 innings last year, 22 this year. Comes in with a 2.93 ERA lifetime. The payoff pitch swung on and just got a piece of that one. Rips it into the camera well over there in the third base dugout of the Pittsburgh Pirates. The payoff pitch swung on, chopped over towards second. Backhanded by Gonzalez, fires it over to first. He's got to hurry. He'll get Wall by about a step, one away. Once again, the Pirates have been playing him back the entire day, and I do not know why he doesn't try to drag bunt. He drags one past the pitcher. As far as they're back, they have no shot at getting Wall. Adam Duvall comes to the dish. First pitch on the way, nowhere near the zone. Cutter, well high, 1-0. The 1-0. Lets her go. Swing and a miss. 94 up top, 1-1. Braves 1, Pirates 1. Bottom 7. What we expected, a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Paul Skeens versus Max Fried today. The 1-1. Chased the sweeper outside, 1-2. 1-2 count. Remember, 11:35 first pitch tomorrow. Next Sunday, we're bringing the game to you as the Phillies are in town. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted high, into center field, going back on the track, making the catch. Michael Taylor for a long out, number 2. Two down. And Orlando Arcia comes to the plate. Righty pitch. Inside, 1-0. The 1-0. Brings it. 94 just misses outside wide, 2-0. You'd love to see Orlando find his way on because I'd like to see what Kelnick, the left-handed bat, could do against this guy. Laureano's still out of the game today with the back injury. The 2-0 cutter up top, 2-1. If you're looking at later in the game pinch hitting availabilities, not a whole lot to pick from. You can't really put Murphy in there as the 2-1 pitch. Up top, 2-2. I mean, I guess you could, but it's not ideal to use your backup catcher. And if Laureano is not available, it's just Zach Short and Luke Williams. It's really just pinch runners that you have to choose from. 3-1 to Orlando. Came out of his shoes and swung at one up around his chin, 3-2. He is absolutely lost at the plate. So a 3-2 count to Orlando. He's a guy that's always had holes in his swings like Swiss cheese, but it's really bad now. The payoff pitch, pops it up. Lazy fly ball into center field. O'Neal Cruz drifts back and makes the catch. That'll end the inning. Turning into the bottom of the order is Automatic Out City. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I asked my wife what she wanted for Valentine's Day, and she said a divorce. I said I wasn't planning on spending that much money.
In the late 50s and early 60s, the state of Florida was responsible for 2/3 of all loss of limb accident claims in the U.S., due largely to one town, Vernon, Florida. This was because Vernon was the site of a widespread insurance scam where residents would dismember themselves for a payout. The problem was so extensive that the town became known as Nub City for this very reason. One man claimed he shot his foot when he mistook it for a squirrel. These claims generally received payouts of $5,000 to $10,000, but as the scam went on, the claims increased in value as the residents became bolder. This practice finally ended in the late 60s when premium rates became too high.
I am sick. I am sick of your and when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Just so y'all know, I am too old to be going out anywhere past 10 p.m. Please only invite me to brunch and day parties.
Satchel was just about some of everything. He was like, we had a good baseball team. When Satchel pitched, we had a great baseball team.
Number one, that's a fastball. He called that his midnight rider. The changeup, he called that 4-day creeper.
He kicked his leg impossibly high before pitching. Then he'd throw around that foot.
I was playing with Toledo Crawford, the first team in 1940, and I heard about Satchel. So I said, well, I'm going to stay up here a whole week after the season over and see Satchel, because I'd never seen him before. So I was up in the grandstand, bashful like I was, you know. I'm way up by myself, and the game started, and Satchel threw the ball. I didn't see anything. The man threw the ball back. He threw it again. I didn't see nothing. I said, he playing shot ball? So next inning, I went down there where behind the stop. I just saw a little glimpse. He was throwing the ball. But in the grandstand, I couldn't see it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Thank God for Kid Kelnick. He's got the only run of the day. We head to the top of the 8th inning. Joe Jimenez comes in. Might be some rust on him. We haven't seen him in a minute. First pitch on the way from Jimenez to Olivares. is up top for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 right there at the knees, 94. Evens up the count, 1-1. Olivares Gonzalez stands on deck. Hayes in the hold. The 1-1 swung on, popped up, back foul. It's 1-2. Say two teams back at it tomorrow, 11:35 first pitch. Then the Braves will have Monday off, and they'll welcome in the San Francisco Giants Tuesday through Thursday, and then the Phillies coming knocking on Friday. The 1-2. Swing, fouls it straight back. We'll do it again. The 1-2 from Jimenez. Lets her go. Slider down and away, 2-2. Braves 1, Pirates 1, top of the 8th inning, nobody out. The 2-2 from JJ. 99 caught, looking, strike 3. Got him. Roasted him on the outer edge, 1 away. One down. Gonzalez swings at the first pitch, slider, top of the zone. It's 0-1. Remember last year it was about this time that Joe Jimenez really started getting on his streak. He was almost unhittable in June and July going into August. The 0-1. Down and away, slider to go around. Looked like he might have. He did not. Home plate umpire David Rackley says 1-1. 1-1. That slider's well out of the zone. Ball 2, 2-1. Out of town scoreboard. D-backs over the A's 3-0 in the 9th. Cubs have taken a 5-3 lead over the Brewers in the 8th. The 2-1 pitch. Up top slider. About letter high, 2-2. Marlins are holding on against the Phillies. They lead them 3-2 heading to the bottom of the 8th. Padres all over the Red Sox 10-1 in the 8th. Guardians 7-2 over the Royals is the 2-2. Misses outside. Ball 3, 3-2. That Royals game is in the 7th. Mets 6-4 over the Astros in the 7th. The payoff pitch from JJ. Slider. They're going to say that one did not hit the zone. It was the same spot, essentially, that fastball that he called for a strike. A little surprised he didn't get the call, considering that one had to bend over there. It technically did not land in the zone, but it looked like it may have crossed in it. And that's the difference between robo-ump and what you tend to see on your screen, which is not a 3D strike zone, as the first pitch on the way to Hayes is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. When they have that robo-ump finally installed, I don't know if it'll be next year or the year after or whatever, that's going to be a 3D zone. And anything that clips it's going to grab it and beep, and that would have been a strike. The 1-0, right there on the outer edge, 1-1. Thing about that, I think the biggest pushback on that, obviously the umpires don't want it, but I think the umpires are going to find out that they're not going to hate it once it's installed. But the biggest thing that MLB's pushing back on it is the pitch is tossed over to first. You're going to tend to have a lot lower scoring games, and is that what they want? Because in the leagues where they have put those in place, the scores have been much lower. The 1-1, four-seamer outside wide, 2-1. Which would make sense because you're more likely going to get, I'd say 70% of the time it's going to increase strikes as opposed to increase balls. The 2-1 pitch from JJ. Darno outside the pitch. Swung on. Chopped foul in between first and home. Piddles up against the dugout. Ball boy grabs it. Evens up the count 2-2. Game's already in the books. The Reds beat the Cardinals 9-4. Blue Jays 9-3 over the Yankees, and the White Sox pound the Rockies 11-3. The 2-2. Down and away. Full count. You had a full count. Runner at first, one out. Jimenez turns and flips it over to first. Runner back in time. Gonzalez, he's gone. Pitch on the way, swung on, slapped back foul. We'll do it again. It's almost like a hit and run because he's waiting until Jimenez starts his break. Trusting that Cabrian Hayes isn't going to strike out. B, d'Arnaud not with the strongest arm. The payoff pitch, swung on, popped back foul. Gonzalez was on the move again. Either that or Gonzalez thinks there's two outs. It's one of the two. So the 3-2 count. Skeens versus Freed did not disappoint. What a pitcher's duel that was. 12 total innings between the two. 2 earned runs. The payoff pitch. Runner goes. Doesn't matter. He would have been out. But they called that pitch down and away. It should have been a strike him out, throw him out, honest engine. Another pitch that hit the zone. But David Arrieta continues to be one of the worst umpires in baseball. Kranitz is going to go out there and talk to Jimenez. What should have ended the inning, because d'Arnaud actually got a pretty good throw. It wasn't a great jump by Gonzalez, but it was right on the money, and a great tag by Ozzie would have ended the inning. But instead, you got runners on first and second and 1 out. That'll bring a little surprise that they're sticking with him. Rowdy Tellez will be the batter. Thought they might go to Dylan Lee, who is warmed up and could come in right now. But instead they're going to go with Jimenez against the power left-handed bat of Rowdy Tellez. Runners at first and second, 1 out. First pitch, swing and a miss, slider over the top. It's 0-1. Tellez, if you can get him to hit one on the ground, not the fleetest of foot, he's a double play waiting to happen. But he tends to try to hit the ball in the air because of that. The 0-1, inside, 1-1. Left-hander Dylan Lee warming up in the bullpen. Grandal is on deck, Taylor in the hole. Jimenez at 22 pitches, the 1-1. Right there at the knees, 96, 1-2. One, two. 2 on, 1 out, the pitch. Swing, pops it up. Will it stay in play? Riley chases it down the line. It'll just bend out of play past the tarps. We'll do it again. They were showing the highlights of the Red Sox game. They had those god-awful City Connects with the bright yellow canary jerseys. Those are up there for the worst. The 1-2 pitch. Swing. Pops it back foul. Still think the Phillies have the worst and Detroit's probably second. 1-2 count. Pitch from Jimenez. Swing, chops it over towards the mound. Jimenez grabs it, fires it to first, and he just gets Tellez. Thankfully, it's Rowdy Tellez running because he is a tortoise going down the line. Jimenez, he grabbed it with his glove, then transferred it to his hand. That almost cost him. So 2 down, but now 2 runners in scoring position. Darnold's going to go out there and talk to him. What he's doing, he's going out there to give him a chance to catch his breath. And they're going to bring in they got another left-hander standing up there in Grandal. They may not be wanting to force their hand. If they brought in the left-hander Lee, delay a right-handed bat would probably come in, but he's not exactly, he's a 200 hitter. First pitch on the way, high and out of the zone, it's 1-0. That ball almost went to the backstop. The 1-0. Pitch, swing, fouls it straight back. 95 on the outer edge. 1-1. Braves 1, Pirates 1, 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. If the Braves can get through this, the heart of the order's due up for Atlanta in the 8th. The 1-1 pitch. 94 nowhere near the zone, 2-1. Standing on deck is Michael Taylor. They may pinch hit for him, but that would bring in Lee. The 2-1 pitch swung on. That ball is lifted into center field, going back on the track. Stumbling, but making the catch is Kid Kelnick. My God. I don't know what he stumbled over. Must have been a gopher out there. We'll be back in a flash.
Y'all, I can't wait for my daughter to get her first car. First thing I'm going to do is stomp out a bag of hot Cheetos in the carpet and pour some soda all over the back seat.
So someone today accused me of being a racist, and I've got to say, I don't think it has anything to do with your skin color at all. I think it has everything to do with your species. I don't know if you know this, but humans, we suck, dude. We suck, bro. It has nothing to do with your skin color. Don't care. You're a human, dude. You probably suck. 9 times out of 9.5 times, you suck, bro. We all do, bro. We are selfish, self-centered, ungrateful, ugly, ignorant, nasty people, bro. Have you met a dog before? Those are cool as
Dad, I was wondering if I could plan the family New Year's Eve party.
No.
What? Why not?
Because your mother always plans it.
What the heck? Just let me be in charge this one time.
The only thing you're in charge of is your own bodily functions.
Yeah, you say that every time.
I mean it every time.
Come on, how come you get to make all the rules?
I'm following the only rule that matters, the golden rule, jackass.
What's the golden rule?
He who has the gold makes the rules.
Oh my God.
What do you expect me to do? I mean, that's what I get paid to do. Did you see us play UCLA? I mean, if you're not going to try to motivate somebody after that, then I'll be damned if I shouldn't even get paid.
See, Satchel did to black baseball just what Ruth did to white baseball. See, because Ruth kept the franchises going. This Ruth, after the Black Sox scandal, here comes a Ruth, and he brings it back. And this is the same thing that happened to us. This Satchel came. This is a guy that the people wanted to see, and he never failed.
The average black player was paid $200 to $300 a month. Page made several times that amount.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way as we go to lead off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. game where the only scoring we've gotten was a solo shot by Kid Kelnick, his very first at bat of the game. He'll be leading off here in the 8th. First pitch on the way from Holderman is a sweeper outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fire, swung on, chopped towards the first base side. Foul. So a 1-1 count. Righty, lefty, the pitch. 92 outside wide. 2-1. The 2-1 from Holderman. Swing and a miss. 92 right in his kitchen. That thing came close to hitting him. 2-2. Braves 1, Pirates 1. The 2-2. Pitch on the way. Swing, and that ball's lifted high and deep. Going back on the track. Is it gone? Caught at the wall. I mean, just a foot short, and we would have had 2 home runs from Kid Kelnick. My God. I thought it was at least going to get on top of the brick wall, but it died just before it. If that's 400 out there, he hit it 399.5. 1 away. So close. First pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lets her rip. Swing. That ball's lifted towards left field. Making a not quite diving catch, a sliding catch there in left field is Reynolds. 2 down. Two down. Marcell Ozuna will see if he can give one a ride. First pitch to Marcell is a cutter inside. It's 0-1. The 0-1 righty-righty matchup. Marcell, a little bit of a slump. He's batting now .301. 0 for 3 on the day. The 0-1 pitch down below the knees. 1-1. The 1-1. Holderman comes set, lets her go. Swing, pops it up. Is that going to stay in play? It's going over towards the first base dugout. Just out of play on top of the dugout. 1-2. The 1-2. Righty-righty. Holderman comes set. Brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase that sweeper. They've been getting Marcell to chase it off the edge for about the past week. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. Tied going to the 9th.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, bud?
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I wanted to be a rock star.
Why didn't you become one?
'Cause of you, bud. I smiled at one girl in a cell phone store, and now here I am stuck eating cereal for dinner with a kid.
You'll always be a rock star to me, Dad.
You ruined my life.
Throw it again, please. Throw it again.
Ozuna down the left field line, and we're tied at 5.
quotes in Spartan history. When King Agesilaus was questioned about how Sparta lacked fortifications, he would merely point at his men and say, "These are Sparta's walls." When the aging king was asked, "How far do Sparta's boundaries reach?" he simply held out his spear and answered, "As far as this can reach." When King Philip was expanding his empire across Greece, he sent a letter to the current Spartan king, asking if he wanted him to enter his lands as a friend or a foe. The only response Philip ever received was a single-word reply, "Neither." When King Philip of Macedon sent a message to Sparta, he said, "If once I enter into your territories, I will destroy ye all, never to rise again." The Spartans' reply was simply the word, "if."
Armchair.
Satchel Paige had a good arm, a strong arm with no muscles. He had just like a slingshot. I grabbed his arm one day. I said, "Hey, Satchel," I said, "you ain't got muscle." He said, "No, but I can slide that ball up there."
He knew how to pitch. See, that's one thing. And then, you know, when he got ready to warm up, he wouldn't look for no plate or glove. He'd try to find him a piece of chewing gum or match them. He said, "This is what I'm aiming at." See, and he would throw it. And then another thing about Satchel, when he was on the road, he liked to drive fast. So I was driving, and so we was going from Little Rock to New Orleans. He says, he called me homie. He said, "Hey, homie." He said, "Pull over." I said, "What for, Satch?" He said, "There's a man behind us in a wheelbarrow." He said, "We want to let him by." Well, I was doing about 80, you know, and so, hey, at that rate, you know, hey, I wasn't going fast enough for him.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Iglesias eyeglasses comes on, which is the typical strategy the teams employ. They use their closer in the ninth in a tie game when they are at home. First pitch on the way is right there at the knees. For a strike, it's 0-1. And the only thing about that strategy is that nowadays with the ghost runner as the 0-1 pitch, down and away, 1-1, you kind of paint yourself in a corner. Because if you don't score in the bottom of the ninth, even if you hold them here, you're going to go to the top of the 10th as the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Change up over the top 1-2. With the ghost runner, and all they've got to do is get one in, and then they can use their closer. The 1-2 pitch. Outside wide 2-2. I mean, you can probably go back and forth on that, on the strategy behind it, but I have just a hard time burning the closer at this point. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him. This will be up in the store. We're going to add the hats, too, at some point this week. This will be up in the Braves Country Radio store this week. We hope to have it up in the store by, at the latest this weekend, heading into the Philly series. Braves Country Radio Cup. Not sure of the price, but I know we're getting a pretty good deal on them, so it's not going to be like those expensive ones you find online most of the time. First pitch on the way to McCutchen is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 from Iglesias. Slider misses. Down and away. 2-0. McCutchen, and then standing on deck is Reynolds. The 2-0. Right there. Grabbed the strike. Slider. Gave him the call that time. 2-1. If Reynolds gets on, Cruz is in the hole. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Looking towards the Braves ninth, Matt Olson, Austin Riley, and Travis d'Arnaud will be due up. The 2-2 pitch. Slider misses outside. 3-2. Even if you don't score in the ninth and it goes to extra innings, the 3-2 pitch is rattled, fouling out of play. If you can somehow get one guy on, the guy that would lead off your 10th inning as the ghost runner would be Forrest Wall, which would be ideal. But hopefully the Braves can just pull it out in the bottom of the ninth. The 3-2. Caught, looking, strike 3. Dotted the outside corner, 2 away. Yeah, we hope to have those cups up in the store this week. we just got him in. We're trying to put him together, but like I said, it should be. I would hope before, but at the latest, the weekend for the Philly series, the 1-0. So Brian Reynolds is the first pitch, misses outside. Righty lefty, the 1-0 pitch. 96, just off the plate, 2-0. Reynolds, 0 for 4, but he's been hanging out on the left side of the plate. The 2-0, swing, fouls it straight back, 2-1. 2-1 count. He's 0 for 3 from the right side of the plate, 0 for 1 on the left side of the plate. Faced Max Fried the first 3 at-bats. The 2-1 pitch, they set up inside, curveball swung on, banged, high and deep. Is that going to hold? Duvall going back on the track, jumping at goals over his head, and here comes Brian Reynolds. He's cooking around the bases. It's going to be a triple, and Arcia throws the ball away. He is darn lucky that did not go into the dugout. He had no shot of getting that runner. Duvall had a terrible play on that. It should have been caught. If he's backed up to the very part of the wall, he's going to make that catch. Just misjudged it. It never hit the wall. It just fell to the left of his glove. But then Arcia gets the carom. He almost threw that one in the dugout. He fired that thing at Riley. And first of all, it was nowhere near the base. Second of all, the runner had already slid in safe to third. They're going to intentionally walk O'Neal Cruz, and that'll bring the right-handed bat of Olivares to the plate. Olivares, 1 for 2. He walked, singled in the third, sacked fly in the fifth, struck out in the eighth. First pitch on the way to Olivares is a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Infield is back as they're just trying to get that one out. There's a huge hole on the right side. The 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. Little strange. They're holding the runner and playing the shift, so there's an enormous gaping hole on the right side. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, chopped in front of the mound. Eyeglasses has it, stumbles, fires it to first, and it is caught by Olsen. Oof. We almost had one thrown into the outfield. He's having a big laugh with Darno, but he did the same thing Kalanick did, stumbled. Man, there's gophers in the grass today.
It's fine. We'll buy it and we'll return it.
All sales are final.
Come on. I'll show you what's final, you I will burn you alive like the last you cross me.
Okay, all right. That's not getting us anywhere, okay? She's hot.
I went hot real fast. It just happened.
Y'all, my wife and I have been happily married for 16 years. The other day I decided to watch a movie without her, and all of a sudden I'm moving funny.
American history lesson. You don't know nothing about Lady Liberty. Standing there in the harbor with her torch on high, screaming out to all the nations in the world, send me your poor, your deadbeats, your filthy. And all the nations sent them in here. They come swarming in like ants. And they're all free to live where they feel safe. And they bust your head if you go in there. That's what makes America great, buddy.
Here's Jackson, the last time at bat possibly in Reggie Jackson's career. Listen to the crowd. Broken bat up the middle, base hit, Reggie Jackson.
Anyone else find functional alcoholics fascinating? Like, these will drink a 30-pack of the most disgusting beer on earth, get blackout drunk, and then wake up the next morning at 6:30 a.m. and go to a manual labor job in the direct sunlight where they work all day. The only thing that they'll consume is like a gas station hot dog and Mountain Dew, and they will be totally fine, and then when they're done work, go right back to drinking again and do the whole thing all over.
One of the things about baseball is the imagination of people. When something remarkable happens, I was there in their imaginations. When Babe Ruth allegedly pointed to right field bleachers before hitting his home run there against the Cubs in that World Series, I've had at least maybe 100 people tell me, I was there. If everybody who said they were there really at Cubs Park would seat 500,000 people.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Aroldis Chapman's coming in. He's had a bit of a resurgence after having a couple of so-so years. He's going to face Matt Olson, so a lefty-lefty matchup. But Matt Olson is 2 for 4 lifetime with a home run against the lefty. So power versus power. Here we go. First pitch on the way. Swing, pops it up. Over by first base dugout. Is it going to get in the crowd? It will. 0-1. The 0-1. Chapman. Takes a second. Now he's ready to bring it. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped up past the mound. It's going to be a tough play, but Olson does not have the speed to beat it out. 6-3 put out, one away. O'Neal Cruz had a long way to go, but he's got a strong arm. And Olson just does not run fast enough to beat that one out. A lot of the other guys are going to be safe. They're checking on Chapman. I don't know if something happened to him when he came off the mound. Take another look at it. Oh, yeah, he's limping. And it had to be during the delivery. It had nothing to do with him. He knew it instantly. He went to go to his left, and he instantly started limping. Almost like maybe an ankle. He's saying he's okay. Man, he was gingerly moving. I don't know about that. I know one thing. If Austin Riley knows how to drop a bunt down, this would be a time to do it. Austin Riley's 0 for 2 against Chapman lifetime. First pitch on the way to the rake is 87. Call for a wide strike one. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lifts the glove, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 99 blew it right by him. 0-2. Standing on deck is Travis d'Arnaud. The 0-2 pitch. Sinker down and in 101 miles an hour. 1-2. The 1-2. Lets her rip. Swing. Pops it up. High down the right field line, but plenty foul. 1-2. On deck, Travis d'Arnaud. He does have one career home run against Chapman. The 1-2 pitch. Splitter outside wide, 2-2. Braves 1, Pirates 1. Bottom 9. Braves trying to end this before we have to go to extras. The 2-2 from Chapman. Outside wide, ball 3, 100 miles an hour, but it's a full count now. Cubs held on and beat the Brewers 5-3. That one's in the books. The payoff pitch, outside wide, ball 4. So a good at bat by Riley, fought himself all the way back to get on base. You do wonder if it's got anything to do with his knee or whatever, ankle, whatever was bothering Chapman when he came off. That thing's barking. The Marlins beat the Phillies. How about that? Don't expect that to happen. Aaron Nola took the loss. 3-2 your final in Philadelphia. So Travis d'Arnaud, who does have a home run against Chapman lifetime, stands in. First pitch on the way to Travis is inside, 98 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Astros still trail the Mets 6-4. They're in the 8th. Mets have been red hot. The 1-0, swing and a miss. 1-1, slider on the outer edge. Forrest Wall would be due up next. And once again, I'm not sure if Laureano would be available, but they may put Luke Williams in. The 1-1, up top misses. But Travis swung through it. It's 1-2. So if nothing else, if Travis does not get into a double play here, because you don't want him as the ghost runner. The 1-2, swung on, fouled back. Do it again. That would be the least favorable of all the guys we have left. You don't want d'Arnaud as the ghost runner. So the 1-2 count. Lefty righty. Chapman, 14th pitch on the way. Outside wide, 2-2. Sinker once again sails out of the zone. The Astros have cut the lead in half at 6-5 now in New York. Looks like they've got runners on in the 8th inning. The 2-2 from Chapman. Swung on, chopped foul. Down the third base side. So a 2-2 count. Yeah, we're doing the Reds country about every other week. We should be due up next week. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Could not time that slider up, 2 away. Waiting to hear back from our Reds guy. He's either coming on next Saturday or the Saturday after. We try to do it every other week, but doesn't always work out perfectly. So 1 down. And they are going to pinch hit. It's going to be Sean Murphy to pinch hit. And they would be doing that because either he'll stay in and catch, and d'Arnaud will take a seat, and they'll put Luke Williams in left, or they will just have Williams come in for Murphy. The lefty-righty matchup. Sean Murphy stands in. First pitch on the way to Smurf. In the dirt. 1-0. 97-mile-an-hour four-seamer. The 1-0. Murphy batting .205 on the year, 3 home runs, .634 OPS. Riley at first. Doesn't have the best speed, but he's a good base runner. He'll cut those bags. You get one in the gap, he'll probably make it a close call. The 1-0 to Murph. Swing and a miss. 98 right down the pipe, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Comes set, lets her rip. Swing and a miss. 97 on the edge, 1-2. 1-2 count. You know, I would have been in favor of, I would not have been against having Forrest Wall bat here and have him drop a bunt with the infield constantly backing Aroldis Chapman's knee or whatever's barking at him. This is a 1-2 pitch is fired in, fouled straight back. We'll do it again, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Runner at first, 2 outs. Riley will be going on contact. The pitch from Chapman. Swing, just got a piece of that. Chase that one off the plate, but coming at you that hot and heavy, 101 miles an hour, I don't think he wanted to risk it. Braves 1, Pirates 1, bottom 9. The 1-1, or 1-2, excuse me. Chapman brings it. Swing, that ball's hit hard down the third base side, but just foul. The Pirates are guarding the line, so Hayes was right there. With them guarding the lines, there's big holes all over the infield. You typically, they're trying to prevent extra bases. There's big gaps over there on both sides of the infield because the first baseman is holding Riley. The 1-2 to Murphy. Swing, chases that sinker off the edge. Do it again. That's the same pitch he kept missing with Riley. Riley was taking it and got himself aboard. Murphy not willing to take the risk. Braves 1, Pirates 1, bottom of the 9th inning. Runner at first, 2 outs. The 1-2 from Chapman. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 103 miles an hour down the pipe. That'll end the inning. We go to extras. Braves and Buccos tied at 1.
Everybody stop. I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought this was a session on how my wife could learn to communicate. How to answer a question without a question. Which I thought, given your wall of diplomas, you could easily fix. Or if you couldn't, you could give her a pill that could either fix it or make her a mute. But now, to turn around and gang up on me, I have hundreds of clients to deal with. And just so we're clear, I don't care about any of them. They're all just a number. Like wife number 1 and therapist number 7. Good day.
The donkey said to the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." The discussion heated up, and the two decided to went before the lion, the king of the jungle. The donkey began to shout, "Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "True, the grass is blue. The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence." The tiger accepted his punishment, but before he asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me?" The lion replied, "The worst waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who does not care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions."
Sure, he called a shot. No question about it. The difficulty is, did he point? Did he stand extravagantly and point to center field the way William Bendix did in that terrible movie? No, he didn't.
Ironically, Gehrig was the real star of the Yankees' 4-game sweep, but few would remember his performance in the face of all the publicity Ruth got. Ruth himself was evasive when asked if he really had called his shot. "It's in the papers, isn't it?" he said. "Why don't you read the paper?" 1 month later, Franklin Roosevelt was elected president, pledged to bring his country out of the Depression. "I have no expectation of making a hit every time I come to bat," Roosevelt said. "What I seek is the highest possible batting average, not only for myself, but for my team."
Well, Daysbel Hernandez will be the pitcher. He is yet to give up an earned run, but that doesn't really matter because you got a ghost runner standing on second. Hernandez is set to face the middle of the order here for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Gonzalez, Hayes, and Tellez. Big key is to get that first out before they get the runner over there to third. First pitch on the way, swung on, that ball's hit up the middle. Oh, that's not going to happen. Arcia's got it, flips it over to first, but the go-ahead run gets to third base with ease, 90 feet away. The go-ahead run here in the top of the 10th. That'll bring Hayes to the plate. They're going to bring the infield in. There's also been a train of thought that you don't play the infield in because you don't want to get into a big inning, because as the first pitch is high and out of the zone, 1-0. Because you're going to get a ghost runner, and the last thing you want to do is open up the floodgates. The 1-0 right there for a strike, 1-1. But everyone goes back and forth on that because this is still a pretty new rule. The 1-1 from Daysville. Pitch on the way, right there at the knees, 1-2. Really use a strikeout here, but a pop out or an atom ball to one of the defenders in the infield would work too. The 1-2. Pitch to Hayes. Whoa, high, goes off the wall. Here comes the runner, flips it, and is he out? Man, that is close. They're going to call him safe. Wild pitch. Terrible throw by Hernandez. And the Braves do want to challenge it. And I thought at first glance that they may have tagged him going by. We may get lucky here. The ball went high and inside, bounced off the brick wall back there, came back to Darnode. He turned around, flipped it, and he smacked him on the shoulder. But the question is, did he smack him? Oh, I think he's out. I think he's definitely out. See if he gets the call. He gets him on the helmet before he ever. If you pause the video there, he hits the helmet, and then, because first of all, during his slide, his foot pops up. He smacks his helmet, and then the runner hits the plate. He's out, but whether or not we get the call, we'll see. Great tag attempt by Hernandez. For those of y'all listening on radio, his left foot bounced. So it went over the plate. And then on top of that, the right knee, which is eventually hits the plate, is, and here comes the call. And they are going to call him out. Got him. So how about that? How about that? Was that the Pirates? I can't remember. I know someone in Braves country remember. Was that the Pirates that the Braves had a terrible call against? This is long before the ghost runner, where the guy was called out and he was definitely safe. I can't remember if that was the Pirates. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Daysball Hernandez gets out of it. A nifty tag. He gets a standing O. We'll be back in a flash. If anybody remembers it, let me know.
You're telling me that you believe that Christ comes back to life every Sunday in the form of a bowl of crackers, and then you proceed to just eat the man.
And I still maintain that if Deion Sanders would have played baseball his entire career, he would have been one of the greatest leadoff hitters to ever play the game, because he was raw. He didn't even know what he was doing. He wanted to hit homers. He was so fast. He didn't even learn how to bunt yet. And he had such a capacity to change the game. He was great for us. It was jaw-dropping. I mean, he even played in the postseason. He would have been the MVP in '92. If we'd have won and beat the Blue Jays, he'd have been the MVP. That's how important he was. He's playing with a stress fracture in his foot. Words can't describe it.
Armchair.
So someone told me that I need anger management, and I don't feel like I need anger management. I feel like I need people to not piss me off. You know what I mean? So to avoid going to anger management, I've compiled an extensive list here of things people can do to not piss me off. Ready? Number 1, leave me the alone. Thank you for your time.
I was listening to a guy talk today, and he was like, a woman that loves you will stick by you no matter how many times you cheat on them. And I was like, sounds like you're talking about your mama, because that ain't me.
I think in the past that certainly Brooklyn's character was defined by the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even just the name Dodgers coming from these trolley cars that everybody had to dodge. The idea that Brooklyn felt a stepchild to New York City and that somehow the Dodgers, the bums, were stepchilds too, that were going to show the hotty-toddy New Yorkers that we were really better than them, defined who Brooklyn was. And even in Long Island, where I grew up, I felt that sense of Brooklyn, and it was all part of the Dodgers. I don't know that that exists today in the same way that you define who you are through your team and through your city. And I think it's a loss. It means that people are more fragmented. They've got themselves and a few friends, but they don't have that group sense unless there's a win. But that's not the same. That's not what this was all about when I was growing up. We hardly ever won, and it didn't matter.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Yeah, it was the Pirates. I thought it was the Pirates, but I couldn't 100% remember it. It was back in 2011. It was Julio Lugo was the base runner, and Michael McHenry was the catcher. And long story short, the Pirates got hosed on that call. That call was correct that just happened, but they got hosed on that call. I didn't realize it had been as long as it was. That was 13 years ago. First pitch on the way from Nicholas to Duvall is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Now this is where the Braves not having the deep lineup they normally had comes back to bite them. Duvall and Orlando Arcia due up. And Kelnick would be third. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swung on, lifted high into center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. And that, my friends, is a walk-off double by Adam Duvall. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men. Beer for my horses. Sixth career walk-off hit by Adam Duvall. Took a hard fastball that was middle away and pounded it into the right center field gap. And your Atlanta Braves win this one 2-1. You know what the hell? Let's give Adam Duvall the game ball. What the hell, man? Came through in the clutch hit there. I don't think he's gotten the game ball this year. He's been so bad. We'll give him the game ball. Obviously, Jared Kelnick has honorable mention here. He went 2 for 3 with the home runner and an RBI. And Max Fried, you can't discount 6 innings, 1-run ball. Pierce Johnson came in, got himself 1 inning and a hold. Jimenez came in for an inning, scoreless. Raziel Iglesias came in, got him a clean inning. Well, he technically got 2/3. And Daysbel Hernandez, what a play by Daysbel Hernandez. It would be a tie between Daysbel Hernandez, Travis d'Arnaud, Duvall, and Kelnick. You know what? We'll give them all each a quarter of the ball. Braves win it 2-1. We will see you next time here on Braves Country Radio. Early pitch tomorrow, 11:35 Eastern, Schwellenbach Day. Y'all have a great one, Braves Country.